Stay tuned for Nero Wolfe. Saturday night chimes on NBC mean a full hour of fun with Dennis Day and Judy Canova. Dennis always appears perplexed and bewildered. But one thing that doesn't perplex him is how to make a popular ballad come to life in his thrilling tenor voice. And there's music also on the Judy Canova Show, plus comedy in the mischievous Canova manner. That's Judy Canova and Dennis Day, tomorrow night over most NBC stations.
My boss is the smartest and the stubbornest, the fattest and the laziest, the cleverest and the craziest, the most extravagant detective in the world, Nero Wolfe.
It's the transcribed adventure of The Case of the Careworn Cuff, with that brilliant, eccentric private detective, orchid fancier, and gargantuan gourmet, Nero Wolfe, starring Sidney Greenstreet. The place is Nero Wolfe's office. At the moment, the world's greatest motionless detective is sitting in the chair which was built especially to support his 300 pounds. His eyes are closed, and he's making sounds through his nose.
Archie. Archie. Archie!
Yes, Mr. Wolfe, what is it?
The phone, if you please, Mr. Goodwin.
Well, it's on your desk, only 8 3/4 inches from your left elbow. All you have to do is lean forward.
Found it, Archie? What do you think I am, an athlete?
Hello. No, wrong number, mister. Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Wolfe, if that old phone awakened you.
Wrong number, and I was not asleep. I was merely concentrating.
On what? We're out of work. There's nothing to concentrate on.
May have escaped your errant attention, Archie. But there are other subjects for thought besides murder.
Mm-hmm. Sure, blondes.
And blondes.
You're right at that. Brunettes.
Phooey.
That's not a nice thing to say about any girl, even if she does happen to be a brunette.
Archie.
Yes, sir?
Go away. You annoy me.
Suppose I did. It would get you beer for you.
Fritz.
Tonight happens to be Fritz's night off. However, you can always get your beer for yourself.
Don't be an idiot.
There are exactly 23 steps between here and the kitchen.
As you very well know, I abominate strenuous physical activity.
23 steps times 2 is 46. You could walk very slow.
Nonsense. Now that you mention it, I happen to be mildly thirsty, Archie. Would you...
Now that I mention it, you'd better let the beer go for tonight.
Why?
Our stock is running low.
You being careless?
I've been careful, because something else is also running low.
What?
Money?
Fiddlesticks, there's plenty in the bank.
Sure, but very little of it is yours. Mr. Wolfe, do you remember that batch of orchids you bought last week?
Course I do. Magnificent and very rare specimens.
I got a magnificent bill for him this morning, too.
It was large?
It was large.
Confound it, Archie. I shall have to do some work.
You turned down half a dozen cases in the last few weeks.
One of them may still require me.
Most of them hired other detectives. However, there is a Mr. Wenceslas who might still be in need.
His problem is what?
As I remember, he's being followed by midgets. He wanted you to do something about it. Not that he minded the midgets so much. It was the elephants they were riding.
The man needs a psychiatrist, not a detective. Anyone else?
I can check my files, but I don't think... Ha-ha! Saved by the bell.
Another cliche like that, and I shall...
Answer the phone yourself?
Assassinate. You see what it is.
Okay. Hello? Yes, Mr. Wolfe is in. Yes, he'll be in. He always is. What? But... That was a Mr. Charles Porter. He was in a hurry. He's on his way over right now. Should be here in 10 minutes.
Prospective client, I trust?
$1,000 worth of prospective client.
Splendid, Archie, my beer.
Okay, but, look, I'm not sure you're going to accept his offer.
Indeed? What does he want me to do for his paltry fee?
That's the point. If I heard him right, he wants you to do nothing.
The door, Archie.
Yes, sir. I hear it. Mr. Porter?
Naturally, I'm Charles Porter. Who else would I be?
It's a large field. Never mind. Come on in. I'm Archie Goodwin.
Where is Wolf?
Mr. Wolf is in here. Mr. Wolf, this is Mr. Porter.
Good evening.
Fat, aren't you?
It's moderately noticeable. Archie, a chair for Mr. Porter.
Don't bother. I'm too impatient to sit. When I have business to take care of, I take care of it quickly.
Very well.
Send him out of the room.
Mr. Goodwin, nonsense. He's my assistant. He remains.
I don't like it.
Archie, show Mr. Porter out.
Now, wait. There's no need to get temperamental. Perhaps I'm a little abrupt.
Rude.
I'm a worried man.
And impatient. You're wasting time, Mr. Porter.
I suppose I am. The reason I came to you... Young man, what are you doing with that notebook?
Getting ready to make marks in it.
But... Oh, never mind. Mr. Wolf, you have a client named Dorothy Spencer.
Have I?
There's no need to be coy about it. I happen to know.
Then you know.
I want you to drop her.
Drop her?
Refuse to handle her case. Close the books on her. You know what I mean.
Why should I?
The girl has no money. I have.
That doesn't answer my question.
Perhaps this will.
Appear to be a small package of dollar bills.
It happens to be $1,000.
Archie, will you?
I will. It is $1,000.
Thank you. Mr. Porter,
Yes?
you're paying me $1,000 in order that I refuse to act for Miss Spencer. Nothing more.
That's right.
What does she suspect you of?
I said nothing about... Well, that is... You must know that as well as I do.
Possibly, and nevertheless, what does she suspect you of?
Being a blackmailer.
Whereas your occupation really is?
I'm a musician. Pianist. I'm appearing nightly at the Windsor Hotel.
Archie, have you made out a receipt for Mr. Porter?
Yep.
Give it to him and show him to the door.
Okay. Mr. Porter?
Mr. Wolf, I want your assurance that the entire affair is definitely finished.
My association with Miss Spencer, you mean? You have my assurance that it is. You will forgive a classical illusion. The Cabo.
Thank you. Good night.
Mr. Wolf, I have a secret about Mr. Porter. He smells.
Some perfume or other. More important, his right coat cuff is more worn than his left cuff. And a Cabo happens to be a musical term meaning start again from the beginning.
Oh? Porter thought it meant finished.
Therefore, Mr. Porter is a liar. His ignorance of common musical term indicates that he's not a musician. The worn right coat cuff, that he is an office worker.
That's kind of leaping to a deduction. But even if Porter's a liar, Mr. Wolf, there is something else. He paid you $1,000 to drop a client named Dorothy Spencer. Mr. Wolf, you never had a client with that name. Well, that's that. Dorothy Spencer is not in. Anyway, she's not answering her phone. Mr. Wolf, I said...
I know what you said. Bah.
That a comment?
I'm worried. Mr. Porter may have assumed erroneously that Dorothy Spencer had employed or was intending to employ me. That does not explain why he lied about his occupation.
Maybe he didn't lie. After all, your deductions could be wrong.
Phooey.
Okay. Take care of that right now. I'm phoning her. Hello? Windsor Hotel? Get me the manager's office. Thanks. Could you tell me if a Charles Porter plays the piano at... Uh-huh. She sounds blonde. I see. Thanks a lot. What do you do after work? Oh, so long. She goes home and beats her husband.
About Porter, Archie.
Bad news. He does play the piano at the Windsor in the move room. So where does that leave your deductions?
Untouched, of course. Let me think. Yes, naturally.
Naturally what?
I came to the conclusion that Mr. Porter was an office worker. We have just discovered that Mr. Porter is not an office worker, therefore...
You were wrong.
I am never wrong. Therefore, the man who was here is not Charles Porter.
Mr. Wolf, do you think a man of your weight should climb out on a limb like that?
Fiddlesticks. Look up Porter in the phone book and call him.
Okay. Take a second. Archie, the phone company's best friend. Yep, here he is. What do I ask him?
There'll be no need to ask Mr. Porter anything. Just phone.
You're the boss. Yeah. I have to say something to the guy. Hello. I'd like to speak to Charles Porter. So would you. Who is... Oh, Stebbins, huh? Yeah, that's right, Archie. Oh. No, don't bother why I called. It's a coincidence. Goodbye. You know who that was?
No.
That was Sergeant Stebbins, Sergeant Pearlie Stebbins. I might add, as though you didn't know, that Stebbins happens to be a sergeant in homicide.
Indeed.
You expected this.
I still don't know what your conversation was about.
It was about Charles Porter, who maybe was a liar, but who isn't going to tell any more lies on account of he was just shot to death.
Well, if it ain't Archie Goodwin. Come in, Goodwin.
Thank you, Sergeant Stebbins.
I've been expecting you.
Oh, that's sweet of you to say that, Pearlie.
Why did you phone Porter?
His right coat cuff was more worn out than his left.
So for that, you had to kill him?
No, actually, I killed him because he didn't know his da capo. Hey.
Yeah, hey. He don't look good anymore, huh? Guys who stop bullets with their face never look good.
Pearlie, you've been robbed.
I did.
That corpse is not Porter.
Now, relax, Goodwin, relax. His fingerprints were on file, and they check. His girlfriend says he's Porter. If he could get up and talk, he'd tell you he was Porter. And what makes you think he isn't?
Well, because when he visited us earlier tonight, he looked different. Not much, but... You said girlfriend?
Yes, I said girlfriend. She's in the next room mopping up. She kind of broke down when we brought her here.
You brought her here? Now, don't tell me what her name is.
Why shouldn't I? It's Spencer. Dorothy Spencer.
Ooh, that's what I was afraid of.
Sergeant, Oh.
Ignore him. He comes with the woodwork.
His name is Goodwin, Miss Spencer. Archie Goodwin. Find what you were looking for?
What I was looking...
Somebody's gone through this place like a minor league hurricane. You?
What business is it of
Of
yours?
mine? None, maybe. On the other hand, Nero Wolfe might have other ideas. Matter of fact, I'm sure he'd have. Miss Spencer, why don't you go see him? The address is 601 West 35th Street.
I don't see why.
You want your boyfriend's murderer found, don't you?
Now listen, Goodwin, the police are working on this.
Sure, they'll see to it nobody harms a corpse. Goodbye, Miss Spencer. Don't forget that address, 601 West 35th Street. Believe it or not, you used to be a client of ours. Oh, Mr. Wolfe, you're getting to be so brilliant, it's boring.
Boy. That is,
All right, tonight you deserve it. I'll get you another can of beer. But this is the last one. What's your promise to do some exercise, like maybe standing up and sitting down 5 minutes a day?
Thank you. And why should I indulge in such idiotic behavior?
Well, after a while, you might be able to see your shoes.
I've already seen them.
Oh, that was 20 years ago. Things had changed. No more buttons. Hey, that must be Dorothy Spencer.
She's undoubtedly young and beautiful.
You deduced that from the way she pressed the buzzer?
I deduced that from the gleam in your eye, bah.
Bah, all you want. I'm going to keep that gleam shining. Hello, Miss Spencer. Come in.
Thank you. Mr. Wolfe.
Is the large sitting down gentleman behind the desk. This is Dorothy Spencer, Mr. Wolfe.
You will forgive me not rising. It is due to a necessary conservation of energy rather than rudeness. Archie, a chair.
Sure. Here you are, Miss Spencer.
Thanks.
Now then, Miss Spencer, have the police found anything but dust in Mr. Porter's closet?
Why, no.
You were engaged to Mr. Porter?
I was?
That ring you're wearing, he gave it you?
Yes.
May I see it?
Well, all right. Here.
Thank you. Expensive. Very expensive. You may have it back. Miss Spencer, why are you marrying Charles Porter?
I loved him.
Phooey. Mr. Porter, according to Archie's description, was twice your age with considerably less than half your attractiveness. Love may perhaps be blind, but it is not astigmatic.
I don't know what you mean.
What were you searching for under the nose of the police?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
How did your fiancé earn his money?
He played the piano at the...
Ooh, what he earned there in a year wouldn't begin to pay for the ring he gave you. Would you like to try again?
I don't know how he made his money.
I suggest that you do. I suggest that he earned money by the same method that he induced you to consider marrying him. Blackmail.
Oh, but
Why was he blackmailing you?
old letters I'd written when I was too young to know any better.
Your motives for murdering Porter would be twofold, then. Recovery of blackmail material and the avoidance of marriage to a man you dislike.
I didn't kill Charles.
Your doorbell, Archie. Get Miss Spencer into the kitchen. Once. Must be the police.
Yeah, let's go, Miss Spencer. Right through that door.
And stay there until I call you. Front door, Archie.
Mr. Wolf, do I know Dorothy Spencer's here?
You know nothing. A simple role for you to play.
I haven't got time to resent that insult right now, but wait until the next time you drop a collar button. Well, bless my soul, if it isn't dear old Inspector Kramer. How is the homicide department?
Where's Wolf?
Big surprise. He's sitting.
Mr. Wolf?
Good evening, Inspector.
Where's Dorothy Spencer?
This is not the Bureau of Missing Persons.
The district attorney would like to talk to her.
I shall tell her so the next time we meet.
Yeah, that could be right now. She's in this house.
I don't see her.
Mind if I look around for myself?
You have a search warrant, of course.
It so happens no, but...
Archie, the inspector's leaving.
Okay, I'm leaving. I suppose by the time I get back with a warrant, she'll be in Hoboken.
Hoboken? Where's that?
Look, Wolf, you can go too far. One of these days you won't be able to talk yourself out of it. Trail me to the door, Goodwin, to show what a good detective you are.
Ooh, Inspector Kramer doesn't love us anymore.
Unfortunate. Archie, take Miss Spencer to a respectable hotel. Register her under an assumed name. She is to stay there until notified otherwise. Luckily, the good inspector neglected to inform us that she was the leading suspect in a murder case. Hence, we are not accessories after the fact, and I don't want her arrested for murder as yet.
Her beauty has won you over.
You will then return here immediately.
Okay. What are you going to be doing in the meanwhile?
I, Archie, shall be thinking. Archie?
No. No, not Archie.
Our impatient and non-musical friend came in through the window. How are you, Mr. Not Porter, of course.
Where's the girl?
Question is beginning to bore me. I don't know.
I think she's here.
So did the police. I might add that they were slightly closer to the truth. Incidentally, what makes you think she was Porter's accomplice?
She must have been.
Nonsense, she wasn't. Porter was blackmailing her, just as he was blackmailing you. In her case, it was letters. In yours, a previous criminal record, perhaps, that your employers might be interested in.
I want to know where she is. Maybe this would help you remember.
Good heavens, don't point a pistol at me. It annoys me. The police, I should think, opened the door for them like a good fellow.
Oh, no. I'm leaving. But if I don't find that girl, I'll be back.
Knock the blasted thing down if it isn't open.
All right, Wolf. I've got the search warrant.
Also, no doubt, a fine tooth comb. Bah. By the way, Inspector.
All right, boys, cover the house.
All right, Inspector.
Yeah, what did you want?
As your men go through the house, will you have one of them shut the back window? I've just had a burglar, and I suspect he left it open. Unless the matter is attended to, the house might be filled with fresh air.
Yeah, what's the matter with that?
Fresh air, deadly poison. It clogs the lungs. And may I point out that the warrant you're clutching in your hot little hand is not a lease on the house. Finish your search quickly, if you please, and then, why not try Hoboken?
So I just missed the inspector, huh?
You did?
That I can stand. I'm sorry about the burglar, though.
Perhaps we can arrange to have you meet him in the morning.
He left his calling card with name and address on it?
He dropped his handkerchief here on my desk.
Oh. It's a handkerchief.
It smells.
So it does. But,
All of our unknown friends' clothes carry the odor. Therefore...
Yeah?
You will go out immediately to the nearest drugstore, buy a specimen of every cake of soap manufactured in this country.
Mr. Wolf?
Be still. No.
I never realized just how many different brands of soap are made in this country.
You should listen to the radio more often.
So far, we've sniffed at 37 cakes. None of them smell like porter. Let's see. 38. Hey.
Let me have it, Archie. Yes, the soap. It's labeled Orchid Ovals. I should say basically mislabeled. Orchids have no odor. Our task for the evening is finished.
Why? All we know is the guy washes with a basely mislabeled soap.
No, the odor would not have been so persistent in that case. Unquestionably, our visitor works for a soap company that makes orchid ovals. Every employee of a plant in which perfume in large quantities is used inevitably carries the odor on his clothes.
Oh. And you already deduced he works in an office. Uh-huh. I go see him in the morning?
You do?
You know, Mr. Wolf, what with hiring rooms for girls and paying visits to a perfume factory, I'm beginning to feel like a maiden aunt.
No one would ever mistake you for a maiden aunt, Archie.
Thanks. Is that another deduction?
Maiden aunts rarely need a shave.
Orchid Ovals, good morning. One moment, please. Oh, can I do anything for you, sir?
Yeah. That is, let's postpone that question and slip in another one. I'm looking for one of your office people. In his 40s, 5'10", brown hair and eyes, speaks in a sharp, quick voice.
He owes you money, too.
Who owes me money?
Mr. Wheeler, the man you were describing. He owes everybody money, in spite of the fact that he's office manager and makes lots and lots of money. How much does he owe you?
Oh, not an awful lot. It won't break me if I don't get it. Is he in yet?
Well, he was, but he went home. He was sort of sick.
Sort of?
He got a phone call from somebody and rushed out.
Too bad. Well, I better scram.
Well, you didn't answer my question yet. I'm off at 5. My name's Gwen.
Goodbye.
Wolf speaking.
Archie here. Unknown's name is Wheeler. He left the office this morning sick after he got a mysterious phone call.
Bad, probably. Get to Dorothy Spencer at once and bring her here.
Right. I'm at Wheeler's house now. Thought I'd better check. His wife's here, too.
Blonde?
Uh-huh. How could you tell?
Fatuous smirk in your voice. Get out of there fast, and don't stop to console Mrs. Wheeler.
Room 909. Miss Dorothy Spencer. Nobody home.
Shut that door behind you, Goodwin.
What? Never mind pulling triggers. I'll shut it.
Oh, Archie.
I would prefer silence. Keep your hands high, Goodwin.
It's unhealthy. All the blood had run into my head.
Archie, he murdered Charles.
He did. Tut, Mr. Wheeler. You really shouldn't have. It's against the law.
Get into the bathroom, both of you.
I already shaved.
I phoned him. I thought maybe he had my letters.
Porter couldn't keep his mouth shut about his other
He
victims.
was going to force Dorothy to marry him. Did you find his material, Wheeler?
Yes, in an office. He read it as a front. It's all burned.
And why all the melodrama?
You know about me, so does she. I can't trust anyone. Get into the bathroom, I said.
Look, let's not lose our heads about this.
Get moving, Goodwin.
I like it here.
All right, then. Here is where you'll get it.
Hey, wait a minute. Something's wrong. I got shot and Wheeler fell down.
I shot him, Goodwin.
Stebbins. Dear Sergeant Stebbins. Oh, you little flat-footed angel.
It's lucky for you my flat feet got staked out here in time.
Just for that, I'll buy you a pair of arch supports for your next birthday. But I'm beginning not to believe this. You had it all figured out?
Well, not exactly. Well, that is...
Wolf sent you here.
Well, he kind of phoned in and suggested one of us shoot down here and do some rescue work.
That old devil.
Hey, you're not kidding.
What are you laughing about?
Wolf wasn't sure whether you'd need rescuing from Wheeler or...
Stop killing yourself with your own jokes.
Or whether Miss Spencer would need rescuing from you.
You've been a very foolish young woman, Miss Spencer. I suggest that in the future you exercise more care in your correspondence.
Oh, I shall, Mr. Wolf, but how can I ever thank you?
Well, one way would be to listen wide-eyed while he explains how he solved the case.
I have no intention.
Oh, come on, Mr. Wolf. Stop stalling.
Please, Mr. Wolf.
Well, I'd be very happy to. As a matter of fact, I'd like to see anyone try to stop me. A man came to me, offered me $1,000 to drop a client I didn't have. Why? Because obviously he wished to direct my attention to that client.
Me.
You, Miss Spencer. Now then, he identified himself as Charles Porter, a musician. But I tested him and discovered that he knew nothing of music.
Ah, the da capo routine.
Precisely. Therefore, he was an imposter. His purpose?
Yeah?
To indicate by no means subtly that enmity existed between Porter and Dorothy Spencer.
Huh?
Thus, when Porter was found murdered, I would presumably be convinced that Dorothy Spencer, balked in her effort to enlist my aid against Porter, had resorted to most foul and bloody murder.
Most foul and bloody murder is very fancy, Dorothy. Shows he likes you.
I thereupon asked myself, why should an unknown seek to convince me that Dorothy Spencer was Porter's murderer?
And you answered yourself?
One reason only, because he himself intended to murder Porter, as he did. For which peccadillo he has, thanks to Sergeant Stebbins' accuracy with a revolver, already paid with his own life. Quodirat demonstrandum.
Latin for that's what you wanted to know.
I think you're wonderful, Mr. Wolf, and I'm going to
Be careful.
kiss you.
Archie, Miss Spencer is a very dangerous young woman.
Today I feel brave.
Do you, Archie?
Very brave. What are you doing tonight?
Nothing.
Let's do it together.
Bah.
Oh, is that Mr. Wolf?
I said bah. Would you very much mind conducting your romance elsewhere?
I would not.
And do so at once. I have a very important matter to attend to.
Goodbye, Mr. Wolf.
Goodbye.
Night, sir.
Very important. Very important.
You have been listening to The New Adventures of Nero Wolfe, starring Sidney Greenstreet. Tonight's transcribed story was based on the characters created by Rex Stout, produced and directed by J. Donald Wilson. In the cast were Lamont Johnson as Archie Goodwin, and Jane Webb, Peter Leeds, Bill Johnstone, and Wilms Herbert. Next week at this same time, Nero Wolfe and Archie will bring you The Case of the Dear Dead Lady. Don Stanley speaking. Three chimes mean good times on NBC. The NBC chimes are excited about the big show, an hour and a half every Sunday night with Tallulah Bankhead as Femme C. Comedy with stars like Jimmy Durante, Fred Allen, Jack Carson, Groucho Marx, and a host of others. Music with Meredith Wilson, Mindy Carson, and many more. It presents drama with Mr. Jose Ferrer and many more leading stars of Broadway and Hollywood. It's The Big Show. Starts Sunday, November 5th on NBC.
This is Chester William Bendix Riley. The Man Called X follows on NBC.
Gifts for Mom, the graduate and summer fun, are all at your Kmart Sports Centers. Gifts from Mom include Samsonite, American Tourister luggage, Healthways exercise bikes, Lopez golf shoes, and much more. Gifts for the graduate include assorted attaché cases, luggage, Ray Floyd golf shoes, Spalding golf bags, and Zoller golf sets. All your needs for summer fun is at your Kmart Sports Center.
Good morning, weirdos. Once again, welcome to Mornings with Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy. Yo, you can call me Michael. Just don't call me late for Bong Hits. Because that's what I'm all about this morning, baby. I'm all about taking some hits. I am just rolling in pain. But I love you. Here I am. I'm going to get rid of this thing here because I can hear me. If I can hear me, then you can hear me. And I don't need to hear me twice. So there's that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for showing up again this morning. Yeah. Last night was fun. I did another nighttime nonsense and nostalgia, and they're getting to be quick. I sit down, I play my first song, and then a couple of minutes later I'm playing my last song and I'm done. I mean, an hour just goes by so quick. It's pretty awesome. It's well, I mean, it's not awesome that it goes by so quick, but it's awesome that it's so easy that it really takes no energy to deal with it anymore. It takes more energy to get on the internet for an hour and try to come up with a dozen or a couple of dozen new songs, right? And I'm getting there. If every couple of days I can get on and add another dozen or so songs, then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And now that I've started loading the songs onto my external hard drive, it's unlimited, right? Well, not unlimited, but I am without fewer limits. Let's just say that. My limits are expanded. I have expanded limits. Move that fence out. It's too close. Too close to the house. Put that fence out in the North 40. Out in the South pasture. So, let's see. Is there anyone out there in TV land this morning who wants to say, howdy, y'all? Howdy. Howdy do. How y'all doing this morning? I'm doing just peachy. Sam. Sam. Hi. How's it going, Sam? Hi. Sam's doing fine, too. He's just a little excited. Come on, Sam. Get in your chair. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on, Sam. Come on, Sam. Get in your chair. Come on. Well, maybe grab that leash. Every dog's got a leash hanging off his ass. Yeah, he's got a short leash. Yeah. Which means he gets pissed off really quick. That's all right. Hi, Sam. How's it going, buddy? Come on. Arr. That's some coffee right there. Well, so let's see what's been happening around the old homestead here. I'll tell you what's been going on. You know, something's been puzzling me lately, and I think I need to find an attorney, right? I think I need to find a class action attorney. If anybody's out there and wants to start a class action lawsuit, hook me up. Talk to me. Anybody? I think the American people, American citizens, and anyone living in America and subjected to our American bureaucracy, right? I think that everyone in America should jump on board with a class action lawsuit against the United States government, against the pharmaceutical industry, against the medical industry, against greedy corporate entities, and the lobbyists who support them, right? I think we need to go after all of them because we've been duped. We have. We are forced in this country to buy insurance, yet the insurance that we buy doesn't help us. All right, the pharmaceutical companies and the medical industry is in charge of is pretty much in charge of our lives. All right, the what I'm trying to say is that They have the fix-its. They have the cures. They have the way to take care of us all. But they're going to make us pay through the teeth. They're going to make us pay out the ass for everything. And how dare these corporations, these giant conglomerate government-backed entities, how dare they hold back cures to illnesses and diseases requiring money to save lives? Where do we draw the line? Okay, where do we say, you know what? There are certain things that should be allowed. There are certain things that should be offered to everyone. One of those things should be the right to survival, the right to live, the right to know that if something were to happen to me, my people, my planet, my world, my government is going to take care of me. And that's not it. Okay, we know that they are out to take care of themselves. They are in it to win it for themselves. They care nothing about us. All they care about is their bottom line, how much money they win and lose. All right, that's it. And so our lives and our health is at the mercy of these financial fiends. All right, that are only in it to dig into our pockets. All right, we back them. We support them. We buy their crap. We support the government. We pay our taxes. We give and give and give. And then when it's time for them to take care of us, like we pay taxes and we give for, what do? They rape us. All right? They rape us. Look at $1,000 for a pill. All right? $1,200, $10,000 for a pill. One pill. You know, it's going to save your life. So if it's going to save your life, then it's worth a whole lot. Well, if it's your life we're talking about, well, we can really gouge people. Hey, man, it's your life. How much are you willing to pay to save your life? All right. They have the cures for cancer, yet they're not going to give those cures out. They're not going to even sell those cures. Why? Because they've got backlogs of pharmaceutical bullshit that only takes care of symptoms. And they need to work, they need to live out the life of those patents on those things to make the money. So we are at the mercy of these greedy corporate entities who are only in it for their bottom line, and that's it. And they control our health. They control our lives. Class action lawsuit. You know, how dare they? How dare they dictate who lives and who dies by how much money they have, right? And not only that, but they just gobble up all of the cures. They known cures around the planet, and they just gobble them up. Why? Because if people get cured of things like cancer, then they can't sell these stupid-ass fucking remedies for $10,000 a pill, right? To take care of you after you've had chemotherapy, which is another fucking bullshit fucking scam, right? They're just in it for the money. And so therefore, they know that if they cure you, that's it. And they can't charge $1 million to cure cancer because that's not right. But they can charge $1 million to help you get over the symptoms of the cancer, you know, or the symptoms of chemotherapy. Well, if we give them chemotherapy, then they're going to need all kinds of pharmaceutical assistance, all kinds of medical care, right? If we cure them, they don't need shit from us anymore. And then we're just left holding the bag, right? Yeah, these are the kinds of things that keep me up at night, wondering why it is I'm going to die of cancer when the cure to cancer is out there, right? Why do we allow these sons of bitches to control? Why? Because we're fucking pussies, that's why. That's it in a nutshell. We're all pussies beholden to somebody or some fucking ideal that's been shoved up our ass since birth, right? And I'm fucking sick of it. I'm sick of turning on the fucking news and watching, you know, hours and hours and hours of commercials every fucking day about how you need to take these pills, and you need to take these pills, and you need to take these pills, and oh boy, these pills. And then they're followed up with, hey, if you took those pills, we got a class action lawsuit going against these bastards because they knowingly gave you... You know what? We're fucking idiots, and we're stupid, and we're fucking pussies for not standing up and saying, you know what? Enough is enough. Nah, enough is enough. We need to walk into the fucking hospitals arm in arm, right, and say, cure us. We need to walk into the pharmaceutical companies, arm in arm, hand in hand, all of us together, the whole fucking goddamn country, and just say, enough's enough. You know, enough is a fucking enough. March on Washington, sit down on the goddamn White House lawn and say, enough is enough. Cure us, then we'll leave. Period. Fucking period. It's a, you know, it's a small world now, all right? Somebody on this fucking planet, multiple somebodies, have the cure for cancer, all right? They got the cure for MS. They got the cure for all of this fucking shit. But they know that we're beholden to them, that we look up to them for, you know, so they're not going to cure us right away. Fuck no. They're going to bleed us fucking dry and let us die miserably. Because they're going to make more money off of that than curing us and letting us just live our lives, right? You take care of population control and you won't need to fucking let cancer run rampant over this fucking planet. Period. You know? Shove a cork up everybody's fucking genitalia, right? And then fix everybody. We should be living 200-300 years a fucking person, right? But we can't because there's not enough resources. So therefore, they let these diseases run wild and wipe us all fucking out, you know, in big fucking numbers. All you got to do is put corks in it, people. You know, if the population were to drastically drop, they would want people to live longer, right? To be more productive for them as fucking slaves. I just, you know, it really pisses me off when I sit and contemplate the bullshit that goes on in this country behind fucking closed doors. How much money do you think we can make off of these poor dying fucking bastards, right? Not a fucking penny off of me. I will go to my fucking grave without taking one fucking goddamn dose of medication. Without fucking taking any of that fucking chemotherapy bullshit. I'd rather fucking die a whole person than to be chopped up and fucking sliced and vivisected, you know, and then injected full of fucking goddamn radiation. Right? We're just fucking guinea pigs. We're just fucking guinea pigs, and I'm sick of it. You know? I'm fucking sick of it. So, class action lawsuit against the United States government, Farm America, the medical industry, corporate entities, lobbyists, especially the lobbyists, who are the fucking lapdogs for these fucking entities, right? And shame on our government for letting this happen to us and making this happen to us so that they can benefit. You know? We're just looking for tax money, man. We just want some more tax money. How can we get some money out of these bastards? You know? It's just fucking sick. It fucking sickens me. You go to a couple of other countries on this planet, and they look down at us like, wow, what are they doing to their people, man? That's fucking horrible. It ain't too many fucking countries. But even you go to Russia, you walk into the supermarket, it's all fucking fresh produce. You know? Non-fucking GMO bullshit. You know? Non-fucking genetically modified fucking meat. You know? You come here to the United States and people are dying off in fucking droves. Why? Because we breed like fucking rabbits and we allow it. And then we let them live in a welfare fucking state, right? I got too many kids, I can't go to work. I got 14 fucking kids. And 18 fucking baby daddies. I'm not quite sure who's the real daddy, so I just call them all daddy. My God, you know. And this is men and women, okay? This is not just women. This is men and women, all right? Deadbeat dads, deadbeat moms, welfare parents, welfare families, generational welfare recipients. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Yeah. It's totally Television Tuesday, I swear it is. And at some point today, we're going to watch In Search of Martians with Leonard Nimoy. Yeah, I found it. And YouTube is actually letting me have it. So there you, well, for now. I mean, later on it may get, and then, of course, if we watch it on this episode, then this episode may get. What are you going to do? What are you going to fucking do, huh? I am going to take some of this really, really good, what do we got? Chocolate Thai here, right? Chocolate Thai. It's not as chocolatey as I would have wanted. It's not even, it doesn't even taste as chocolatey as I would hope but the idea of having chocolate tie, I'll buy that for $1. Totally. It's been like so long since I've had any kind of Thai weed, right? I know it's grown here in the United States, not really Thai weed. It doesn't have the color because it's not grown in the right region at the right temperatures, and it wasn't harvested during the correct time of the year, like the original chocolate Thai, so therefore it doesn't have the brownish colors, and it doesn't have the same aroma. It's just not the same. I was hoping to get a good chocolate Thai, a good dark brown, sticky, chocolatey, got a really good resiny smell. And no, I got some stuff that's green and smells just like the other stuff. What are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna do? I don't know. Not much, I guess. Yeah. So I made this checklist, right? My video, my YouTube video upload checklist. So it tells me what videos I've uploaded, how long they are, and when I uploaded them, right? And it's really cool. And I'm up to 88 videos on my list. And at some point I will add every day I will add the videos that were uploaded the previous day, and I will add them to my list. At some point I will start printing out pages as they get completed and add them to a book. But most of all, I'm going to be using this list. Let me show you my list here. Most of all, I'm going to be using my list to catalog and curate and organize all of my videos. So basically, I can use that list to go through my files here at home on my computer and find those videos that I uploaded starting back in 2022, right? So I'll start with the first video, and I'll enter that into the file, and I will label it 001, and then the label, the title, so that as I enter them with their number first, they will go down in cascading organization, and then in the file with the correct metadata, I can then organize them by their date, their episode number, alphabetically, whatever. Only grab the X-1s. So it'll be cool. And with that, I can then put them all into one file on my external hard drive. And then from there, be able to save them. Pardonnez-moi, I had to do a little bit of anti-sneeze recovery. I was trying to sneeze, but it didn't work. Wouldn't come out. Just wouldn't come out right. Wouldn't come out. So I just had to go into anti-sneeze recovery mode. So, organizing all of my videos. I'm up to 88 videos on my list. The list is probably closer to more like 100 with all the stuff that I just done recently. Now this is all of my content, original content and shared content. It's just easier to curate them as videos by their dates. Basically, because it's just easier. And I can organize them by their what you call it? Oh man, what a brain sneeze. Okay, so like what I was trying to say was I can organize them on YouTube in their by their category, right? You know, original videos, music videos, yada yada, blah blah blah, and then I can just have them all in one big list, and then as I decide to burn it all onto DVD, then I can just select, all right, here's volume 1 of X-1 and volume 1 of you know, maybe I'll do old time radio and do a mix, or maybe I'll just say, okay, here's volume 1 of Nero Wolfe. Sam, go lay down, leave her alone. Come on, come on, go to bed. I guess I gotta deal with dogs. Sam, leave her alone, please. All right, let me go put them. Way down. Well, there's a whole chicken on the stove thawing out, so hard as a rock. But it looks like we're having chicken tonight. Let's see. My daughter should be up in the next hour or so. She's rolling out to Big Bear this morning to go out with her girlfriends and go up and see Grandma up in Big Bear and to go hang out. That's awesome. And then she's just hitting me up about when to go pick up Charlie from the bus stop, because Charlie will be coming into town next week for the concert a week from Friday. Well, that'll be great. I always love seeing Charlie. Natalie, my daughter, she's got such great friends. They're all just the coolest kids in the world. We're not kids, we're adults. Yeah, right. You'll always be kids to me. Nerds. 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 All right, let's see. I'm gonna warm up my coffee. And now I want to do this bong hit, I swear. Nerds. All right. No wedgie, no wedgie. Oh, yeah, no wedgie. No wedgie. Yeah, well, anyway. What do I want to do before I die? Take on the world. tell the world to wake the fuck up, all right? I have spent more than 50 years on this planet observing humanity mostly at its worst, right? This, it's not the planet. It's not the planet's fault. It's not the world, you know? It's not the individuals. It's when we group together in herds, right? And then we allow someone to take charge and to lead us, and we usually wind up picking the worst of the fucking bunch to do that, right? Why? Because we follow charisma. Gosh, wasn't Hitler charismatic? Yeah, really. That's what got him. That's what got everybody so enamored with Hitler. He was charismatic, right? Well, I mean, so are these other jerkwads that we allow the power. We give them this fucking power, and it's just ridiculous. It's just fucking ridiculous. You know, the whole idea that on this planet right now, in some vault somewhere, is the cure for cancer, and some fucking rich son of a bitch is gonna let his people die, his own family, friends, relatives, community members die, in order that his company continue to make money, continue to profit, right? And that's just why am I all of us? No, I've always been like this. But what set me off was watching the movie Johnny Mnemonic, right? With Keanu Reeves, and how the disease NAS, nerve attenuation syndrome, is just running crazy in the world, and the fact that we're doing it to ourselves through all the electronics, i.e. 6G, right? And the fact that the government and big pharmacom has the cure to cure this disease, and they don't want the cure out because they make more money off of bullshit remedies, you know? And that's the total mirror of what's happening in the world right now. You know, we've got people who want nothing more than to profit off of the lives of others, and we allow this because we're fucking pussies, you know. Oh, don't raise a fuss, you know. They might look at you, they might raise your taxes, they might audit you, they might do this or this. You know what? You can't do anything more to me than that's already fucking going on, right? You can't give somebody what I'm going to give you double cancer. Take that. Fuck you. You know, I'm going to make you die even earlier. Fuck you. We're all going to fucking die. And fuck you for deciding how long we get to fucking live and die. And who's, you know, worthy of better insurance and better health care because they have more money. You know, fuck you. American fucking bullshit. We're the greatest country in the world. Right. You take a look at the average citizen, the average person, who's usually fucking scraping and scrimping and quite possibly on their way to being homeless. You ask that average person how great America is. Yeah, I know what their fucking answer is, right? Just like mine. This is not the greatest country in the world. You know, if you live in this country and you swear up and down that this is the greatest country in the world, well, you're the fucking kind of idiot that they want living here. You know, and with people like you, we're never going to get past people like them. Why? Because we're fucking stupid and we're pussies. And we're led around on fucking leashes. You know, we're treated like fucking cattle, like sheep. They herd us together, fucking scream at us and run us that way. You know, what happens when we get over there? They scream at us and run us over that way. And we just run whichever fucking way they want us to run. You know, they raise the taxes and we pay it without fucking question. You know, they say vote for me and we vote for the dumb bastard without fucking question. Why? Because he's my political party. I have to vote for him. My whole family's fucking Republican or a Democrat, or write your stupid fucking party name here. You know, give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. You know, if I had one fucking thing I could do on this fucking planet before I leave, it's to wake the fucking people up. You wake up. Yeah, I'm about as fucking awake as they can be, people. You know, when you're forced to deal with reality and mortality and longevity and health, you know, and finances every single fucking minute of every goddamn fucking day. Yeah. That's fucking reality. You know, don't fucking come to me telling me about, you know, God and country and religion and supporting your fucking bullshit. You tell them about to do that for me, right? Tell the government what they are fucking there for. They're not there to fucking... They're there to take care of themselves, okay? They are in it for themselves. Don't be fooled into thinking that your government is here to take care of you. They're here to take care of themselves first. It was written way back in the 1950s, right? That if anything in this country were to happen, the first order of business is for the government to survive. Fuck the people. The people can deal with it on their own, and then at the end we'll round up whatever people are left and then control them. But the government's first order of business is to take care of the government first and survive. That's why there's so much government, right? And why they control so much. I better take this or I'm gonna be shooting off my mouth here. I should have asked if this chocolate tie was chocolatey. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's just not giving the sensory experience that I wanted, that I expected. And a lot of times I don't trust that these companies aren't just taking one lot of weed and manicuring it down, and then this one lot of weed goes into different bags. It's this kind of weed, it's this kind of weed, it's this kind of weed. They're not going to fucking know it's this kind of weed. They're a bunch of fucking stoners. This kind of weed, this kind of... It's all the same weed going into different bags, right? Just like Chef Boyardee, right? It's the same sauce going into every can. All they do is, you know, add different pasta and meat. But it's always the same fucking sauce. You open up any can of Chef Boyardee, and every single can tastes the same. It's the same shit. It's just a different texture. That's it. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing with industrialized marijuana. Is that it's pretty much, when it comes from one factory, more than likely it's just the same weed packaged differently. That's it. That's all there is to it. So there was this person in Florida who asked me to be friends, and not many people ask me to be friends, right? And I looked and I thought, all right, well, she's in Florida. She's about my age. She might be friends with somebody that I know in Florida, and maybe they've seen my stuff on Facebook and on YouTube, and they just, you know, they're like, okay, I want to be friends. So I friend this person, and boom, I hear a message from the person, and they're like, hi, how are you? What do you like to do? What's going on? And I'm like, okay, this is not going the way I thought. And then, you know, they put question marks on their question, you know, like, are you going to answer me? And it's like, you know what? Hi, how you doing? Look, if you want to hang out, come see me on YouTube or check me out on Facebook. How old are you? What do you look like? And it's like, look, I'm not into chit-chat. Well, what's that mean? Well, if you don't know what fucking chit-chat means, you're probably a fucking girl bot, right? And I'm like, Q&A. Haven't heard anything from this person. I'm probably going to have to go find their profile. And if their profile doesn't change, they got like 2 posts, you know. It's a fake person. Or it's somebody who's out for themselves and trying to... swindle somebody, right? Swindlers. No, really. Now, if this is not Pardon me. I'm not supposed to inhale coffee. If this is not the case, and you're out there watching, and you're not a swindler, and you're just a curious person, well, yeah, then, you know, you should go about making friends differently. You don't just start hitting somebody with 20 questions, especially when everything that I have on Facebook is public. Everything that I have on YouTube is public. If you want to know about me, do your fucking research. You know, if you don't know me already and you want to know about me, go through my posts. All right? You're going to see that I'm not into organized religion. I'm not into organized fucking major politics. I'm not into government crap. I'm not into fucking pharmaceutical companies, medical industry, corporate entities. I'm not into today's movies or today's TV shows. I'm not into most of today's music. You know, I'm old, I'm grouchy, and I'm in pain all the time. Which is why I'm here a lot, because I don't sleep. You know, when you have chronic pain and chronic health issues, you don't sleep much. And since I have been dealing with health issues my entire life, you know, not that my family would know the difference if it jumped up and smacked them in the face, but yes, I have been dealing with health issues my entire life, henceforth the fact that I was out of school a lot, always had stomach issues. It took me up until my 30s before I found out I was lactose intolerant. You know, not to mention the sundry of other items that plague me on a regular basis. But this is, you know, this is my life, and I was taught to get production value out of everything. So, you know, good, bad, or ugly, this is my life, and this is, you know, this is what I got to get production value out of. Now, try not to inhale that time. Yeah. What am I talking about? I'm talking about who's fucking running the show, right? Who's pulling the strings, really? I imagine that they have some kind of computer algorithm right now watching this, because that's what this is all about. Social media, Facebook, Chip, all of these little platforms and stuff. During the for the longest time, but during the 1950s, especially 40s, 50s, 60s, American government and other governments around the world did a lot of research into mind reading, mind manipulation, thought control, that kind of stuff. How do we read people? How do we know what they're thinking, man? Do we want to know? Can we pick it up on TV waves? Can we set up antennas everywhere to get in on people's thoughts and find out what they're thinking and what they're planning and what they're plotting? And it turned out that all we needed to do was be told that we need to share, right? And if you look at 40 years ago, don't talk to strangers, don't give out personal information, don't take rides from strangers, don't take food from strangers, don't do all of these things. And now you have to, in order to get along in the world, you have to break all of those rules that we were taught when we were in kindergarten, right? Everything is completely flipped. Why? Because they can't get into us and control us if we don't just open up and just let them do whatever the hell they want, right? So now, you know, we just allow them, and because of all of these platforms, these multimedia platforms, we freely give up our personal information, our thoughts, our hopes and dreams, our plans, everything that we're doing, where we're going, everything about our friends and family and pets, and all of our lives are open books now, right? And this wasn't like this before, you know? This wasn't like this before. Before, you had to keep everything private, you know? And they won. They figured out how to read our minds. You know, give us the opportunity to spill our guts, and we will, basically. Easy as that. and it doesn't take special radio waves and antennas and receptors or LSD or special medicines or mind manipulation, thought control, mesmerism. It doesn't take any of that. All it takes is, time. Over the last 24 years, 23, things have changed so drastically in the country, and then i.e. the world, because we were duped. We fell victim to our own stupidity and our own desire to be controlled and manipulated and coddled and cared for, 100 years ago, had something like 2001 had happened. I just hate to say the words, the phrase, the call lines. I don't even go there. So back in 2001, had something like that happened 100 years prior, what would the country have been? What would have been their response? Now, back when Pearl Harbor happened, right, and everybody was clamoring about border safety, why did we not? If everything was so important, safety was so important way back then in 1941, why then did we not start construction on some kind of border security along our northern and southern borders, right? Why then did we not spend the time and the energy and the... Other countries do it. Other countries, look at the Maginot Line back during World War II, when there was this huge border, right? Impenetrable border. Why didn't we build that? Why didn't we build it then? Why didn't we build it during World War II? Why didn't we build it during the Korea, Vietnam? Why didn't we build it during any of these terrorism deals back in the 70s when they started taking over planes? Why did things not get better? Because if they get better, then what have we got to worry about, and why do we need them to take care of us, right? They have to keep us living in fear, so they keep throwing stuff at us, right? They just keep throwing it at us, and screaming and running us all into this direction. That's screaming and running us all, and that's all they're doing. They're stampeding us, and we just keep going along with this. Every time they stampede us in one direction, we just scream and run and go along with it. Why? Because we're fucking idiots and we're pussies, and we can't stand up and just say, I'm not buying it this time. No. And then the few people that do stand up and say, I'm not, you don't see those people around anymore. Or they label those people kooks, and then nobody will follow them. I'm going to be labeled a kook, and nobody's going to follow me. So I just already, I'm a weird guy. Don't follow the weird guy. Or maybe you want to follow the weird guy because he's weird. But if you follow me, it's because you're weird, and then i.e. you're never going to get taken seriously because he's one of those weirdos, right? And I don't give a fuck. I know reality. Other people want to pretend they know reality by getting into all of this fucking fantasy bullshit, right? I know reality. I know my reality very well. I even know your reality better than you know your own fucking reality. So don't come to me trying to fucking tell me how to fucking think, alright? Until you can figure out for yourself how to think for yourself, don't tell me how I should think. Because more than likely, you want me to think along the lines of the way you were told to think, and that ain't happening. That ain't happening. Not with this fucking guy. I'll go to my grave knowing that I live in a real reality, not a fake bullshit reality that they're trying to shove up my ass to keep me on a fucking leash, right? They can make all the fucking threats and, take away my medication and put me in prison and hurt my family or whatever they want to fucking do. Because in the end, it's on them. It only proves my fucking point. It only shows their true colors, not mine. You know? So do whatever you're going to bring it on. Do whatever you're going to fucking do to me. Because everything you fucking do to me is just going to prove how fucking inhumane you are, right? Fucking government. Fucking politics. Fucking Republicans and Democrats and independents. It's all fucking bullshit, you know? Because it's all the same fucking thing, you know? It's all the fucking same. You can call it different. You can call it Republican and Democrat and Independent. But once they're there, it's all the same fucking bullshit. They're under control, and they're not beholden to us. They're never beholden to us. You know, themselves, and then whatever entity is in charge of them, and then on up the fucking line until we get to the one head asshole on the fucking planet. And there is one. There's one head asshole on the fucking planet. You know. And we're all fucked because of it. Because we allow it. Because we're all fucking pussies. You know. I don't want to take over anything. I don't want to fucking control anything. You know. Live and let fucking live. You want to control something? Control the population. Control your penis and your birth canal. You know. Control those. You know. You want to control something? Control yourself. Control your perversions. You know. Control is not something that should be used against people. You know. Control is a fucking dial you turn to change the fucking channel, you know. What was I saying? I don't know. More heat. More heat, man. So my daughter's leaving early this morning at 8, which means she'll be up soon, which means my wife will be up soon because she's got to take her and drop her off. Or no, maybe she's getting picked up. But the thing is that it's going to start getting alive around here. Little noises, and whispering, and people talking and whatnot, and dishes and cooking and all of that neat morning stuff. The kitchen will be open soon. So I'm going to wait until the place starts to wake up before we play our episode of In Search Of. And I can't wait to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. I've only done the little bit of editing that I needed to get it onto YouTube. So I'm excited about that. And then, of course, if we get into it and the place is still rowdy after it's over, I may just keep talking, or I might put on something else to listen to or to watch while the place is busy here. I've been trying to figure out, and over the weekend I created a bunch of videos, and then I just kind of uploaded them in kind of a hodgepodge mixture, and kind of gave them some relatively standard premiere times and dates, right? Upon reflection, I think what I'm going to do is try to create enough content so that throughout Monday, moving Monday, I will be releasing every couple of hours another kind of movie-ish video. And then on Tuesday, a couple of TV videos throughout the day. And then on Old Time Radio Wednesday, a few old time radio shows throughout the day, release those. So that from 5 a.m. to about 6 p.m., there's something going on just about all day long, right? So I am going to next month I'm going to start planning my next month's schedule like so. I'm just going to kind of let my premiere days go right now, and I'm really going to try to beef up next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday with no shows. I'm going to really try to pack that day full of shows so that there's something going on all day that day, since I'm not going to be here. So I'll have something pop up in the morning, and then a few things pop up during the morning, a few things pop up in the afternoon, and then I may do a I don't know. I could take a video that I've done and then re-release it so that it premieres at a time when I'm not here. That's the only way to really do it, is to set a premiere, and then it's going to happen whether I'm around a computer or not. It's just going to pop on, give a countdown, and then start playing, and then you just have to watch it from the beginning. You can't pause it or rewind it or anything, which is pretty cool because it's kind of like this, right? The premieres are kind of like doing the live, and I like that, so that I could create a video like this and then do a live premiere, right? It's like, okay, this is going to premiere the time that I'm normally here. I can create a video, an hour-long video of me sitting here talking, doing stuff, and it's going to open, premiere, start with my opening credits. I'll do my hour show, and then so I could do an evening show, a nighttime nonsense and nostalgia, and then not have to be here for it. I could premiere it on that Friday, and I might set one up for the 28th. Sit here and create a nighttime nonsense and nostalgia show as a video, and then have it premiere at 5 o'clock on the Friday that I'm not going to be here. Wow, what a concept. So there. I just, every time I sit here and kind of go through all of this stuff, I come up with new things and new ideas and whatnot. Let me write that down. So let me do a nighttime nonsense and nostalgia premiere for 6/28. There. Okay. I could try to put together a Friday morning live show, but it's this, and I can't really do this sitting by myself. Well, I mean, I could, but it's not as much fun knowing that I'm not going to get any comments. So, yeah, so the shows, like nonsense and nostalgia, that show there, I could actually create, put it in the can, and just have it premiere while I'm gone, And I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. I mean, with that, I could sit and I could create 5 shows in a row and then upload them all with premiere dates, one a day, right? For a week. And then that would free up my evenings. I guess if I have to be gone, that's going to be the plan, is to get shooting a nighttime nonsense and nostalgia live, get it streamed, and then do the same thing into my recorder and record the show for the following night. And then just upload it as a premiere. Well, hey there. I know other people are going, it took him this long to figure this shit out. Leave him alone, Harry. He's not too bright. Absolutely. Absalom. All right. Bang hit. It's going to do a bang hit there. So now I have to come up with a daily schedule. Okay, what times of the day do I want to release stuff? And then what do I put in those time slots, right? Now the movies and the old-time radio shows, those are the easiest slots to fill. I think I'm going to continue with a daily upload of X-1, and then every day during the week have a different day of the week where a different radio show is released. You know, like on Wednesdays we'll do Nero Wolf, on Thursdays we'll do The Shadow, and then so on and so on. So every day of the week we'll have a different episode released, and on Old Time Radio Wednesdays we'll have 2 extra ones released. So we'll have X-1 and Nero Wolf because it's Wednesday, and then we'll do 2 extra ones that don't have their own day, right? And we can switch those out, just random ones, but ones where we want to get a good look at the entire series. Then those should be once a week. We get an upload, and then once the X-1 is done, then I think we'll get into Dimension X, and then we'll get into some other science fiction anthology series. And so every day we'll have an old time radio. We'll stick to doing movies on Mondays. We'll stick to doing TV show stuff on Tuesdays. Either we'll do a TV show in the morning, and then we'll do some like a commercial break during the late morning, and then in the afternoon we'll do a couple of hits of commercials, news, TV show openings, something like that. And I'll just kind of put together the best I can things that fit that particular day. On Throwback Thursday, I'll try to come up with some kind of concert footage or event footage from something that I attended. Sometimes I want to do something and I just cannot find any footage on it, right? So, you know, I just have to kind of sometimes take what I can get. Sometimes I can't get anything. I am going to do some more research here. And there are some actual original content videos that I want to create, but I don't have time. So I think by spending 1 or 2 days a month creating a shitload of content and then uploading it to programming, right? So everybody knows what's coming, just like on a TV guide. Then it'll free me up to have time to work on original content. You know, the docu-series Elsinore Brothers, you know, concert footage, going to the movies, out buying records and stuff, you know, photos from my wife's phone, family photo album, you know, all the different series and stuff that I've started. I like to get into those and, okay, I'm going to work on 2 episodes to this one, and then I'm going to upload them, you know, a month apart. And then every month I'll give it 1 day a week where we get a new one of a new video. And then, you know, the first day of the first week of the month on you know, Mondays we get this video series, and then the second Monday of the month we get this video series, and we do that, you know, until eventually we can get a Monday and a Wednesday. And then every month we just go back and, okay, now let's do episode 2 of this one and episode 3 of this one, and just keep rolling through and try to create programming. So nothing premieres at the same time as something else, right? And things have their own days and time slots. So that's one of those things where I'm just going to sit down with a graph paper and just keep hashing it out until I come up with, all right, this is the schedule. I need things to fit this schedule. And eventually I might get a magnetic board with little pieces of tape on magnet strips that I can write stuff down and put, just like old school network programming. You know, and I can move stuff around. Okay, this is this week. This is what's happening this week. This is all in stone. This is what's happening next week. We've got the tape on magnetic strips. We can move them around, you know, until we get things. We got too many movies for this day. Let's bump this one down to the following week. We don't have enough Tuesday stuff here. Let's move this premiere up to here, fill in this day, and then we'll worry about this week once everything else is out there, you know. And I like being able to use shared content, you know, old TV shows and music and movies and that kind of shit. Because this channel is about me. It's not just about me sitting here doing this. It's about the things that made me the way I am, who I am, you know. So I think it's perfectly justifiable to have all of these things on my channel. Because the more you learn about the things that I like, the more you know about me. And I like some weird stuff. And, you know, by example, you can look at the things in my playlist, the things coming up. I'm a weird guy. I like weird stuff. I have weird interests, weird tastes. You know, I think that, you know, I think weird, I talk weird. I'm just weird. And I've gotten to the point to where I'm okay with it. And I just, you're right, I'm going to just get as much production value out of my weirdness as possible. You know. I'm hoping that I don't lose any more friends on YouTube here. I mean, I imagine that people show up for one reason, for one kind of video thing, and then they probably say, well, I'm going to watch one of his shows. And they watch one of my shows and go, oh, this guy's not for me. I'm out of here. Unsubscribe. Oh, did he really say that? Oh, man, he totally goes against my grain. I can't think like that. I can't think outside the box. I can't watch this guy. So I'm sure that happens on occasion when I lose a subscriber. It's because they don't get it, and they're not open to different. They're not open to it. Did he just call me a weirdo? I'm no weirdo. Click unsubscribe. Whatever, you know. I guess you're not as weird as I thought you were. Totally. What am I going to do today after the show? Nap. I am going to nap big time. Try to lay down for an hour or two, no longer. And then take a shower, eat some lunch, and work on some more videos. Last night I uploaded one episode for tomorrow, so I've got 2 episodes for tomorrow right now. Tonight, at some point today or tonight, I need to try to upload 2 more radio shows for tomorrow, because it's Old Time Radio Wednesday. And while I've got one movie about sound, I've only got 2 episodes ready to premiere. So I need 2 more, and they're going to premiere throughout the day. I decided that I'm not going to just bunch everything up, everything at 4 a.m. The way it premieres, it goes live, so I can't just click on it and start it over again, right, and then play it on my show. So that's out. So I'm going to decide what are my time slots. You know, every 2 hours, every 4 hours throughout the day, 4 a.m., 8 a.m., 12 p.m., and so on, every 4 hours, that's a handful. That's a grip of videos, right? So that's like what, 4 videos a day plus. So I think if I do that, I think if I just focus on Wednesdays, just do old-time radio shows, just 4 old-time radio shows. And then on Monday, try to come up with 1 old-time radio show, the X-1, and then 3 movies, right, to release. On Tuesday, an X-1, and then 3 things about TV, right? The Story of TV is uploading today, is premiering today, and it's just a film about the story of television, how TV works back in the 40s or 50s, right? So that's neat. And we have In Search Of happening today, right? So that's awesome. So if we can stay along those lines and try to do things that line up with the specific day's programming, and they have a regular time slot, that to me says network, professional broadcast network. And that's what I'm shooting for. I'm shooting for a broadcast day that starts pre-shows at 4:20 a.m. and is live from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m., either live broadcasting or live premieres throughout the day. But every day there should be 2 live shows and 4 uploads. They don't have to be long uploads, but they do have to fit the requirements of the daily programming. That's it. Gosh, this is a lot of fun, you know? No, really. No, really. I've never had so much fucking fun at a job that's a hobby. You know? And the way my home life schedule is with work and play, I have ample time to do this. If it wasn't for this here, I would be sitting around watching way too much television, smoking way too much dope, being in bed way too much, eating way too much, not doing anything, right? And that is not the case anymore. That is no longer who I am. This is who I am now. Trying to keep myself amused, hoping that it amuses others. That's it. And I'm just having too much fun doing it. Way too much fun. And learning about old music, learning about old movies and old TV, learning about copyright, learning about computers and the internet and research and programs and cameras and all of this stuff. It's just every day is a new adventure, you know? And if I can keep track of and curate everything from the past and use that to guide my future stuff, it just keeps snowballing and getting better and better and better. You know, I think one of the things that I need to do is highlight original content versus shared content, right? Yeah, exactly that. So on my list here, I've got the order at which it was uploaded or premiered, and then the title, and then the date at which it was uploaded or premiered being the operative word, when people were able to watch it, and then the length of said video. Now, I think that I need to have a star, an asterisk at the end that lets us know if it's original. And I think that's going to be the final kicker. Teaser trailer is original. That one's original. That's uploaded. Huh? Okay. Well, there you go. All right. Yeah. One more. Well, that's pretty cool. That's an easy way to do it. Original content's got a star next to it at the end. That's cool. Concert video doesn't count. That is original. My promos, previews, my Yucca Valley High graduating class. That's original. Weekly programming, Friday Night Live programming. That's original. Reunion teaser trailer. That's original. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. That'll be an easy way for me to know what's what. Yeah. That's cool, man. Alright, you know, this is alright, because this is my show, this is what I do, we're just hanging out, doing the stuff that I do in the morning. What I like to do in the morning is have bong hits. So I'm going to have another bong hit here while we're just sitting here hanging out. I'll just keep popping stars next to these files. Our original. And then, at some point I can actually write up the things that are going live today. In search of whatever's gone live between yesterday morning and today. I think I've already got. Is that a hail? Was that a hail? Take it easy, hail. Yeah. Wow. What a day. What a day. Yeah, I was like, I got up, took a piss, laid back down, and then thought, well, fuck, what time is it? Looked up, and it was like 4 a.m. Went, oh, man, if that clock says 4 a.m., then this one over, beep, beep, and I was up. I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm not going to snooze, I'm just going to get up, get my shit ready, go live, and I was going to go live and then play the premiere on the channel live, but you know what, that's too much hassle, and then it might eat up internet, and then it'll probably kill my feed, and it's like, no, so I just played a show from my graphics computer, because I've got them all on file, which is another thing. I need to create that master file of all of my shows on this hard drive, this external hard drive, and I really need to invest in another external hard drive. And I think what I'm going to have to do is I am going to have to just bite the bullet, find the right size of box that I can take and close the box up empty, and then cut it in half, you know, and have two boxes that are the right height to catalog 8 tracks, and then have slim boxes, short slim boxes for 45s, wider slim boxes for 78s, and then some small boxes. I got to get dogs for LPs. Because while I do prefer to curate and collect rather than sell, short of holding a fundraiser live telethon, I don't know how else to raise extra money for this and the needs of this channel. So, and I don't have a shitload of subscribers, and if I'm going to call you friends, I'm not going to hit you up for money. At some point, I'll find out the logistics of how it's possible, but at some point I may put information somewhere buried within my description of my channel for you to donate money, and then it'll just be somewhere nonchalant, hidden away. You really got to look for it to find it, so that it's unobtrusive. I mean, I'm not coming right out in every video and putting my hand out. Pay me. Because that's not what this is about. It's a hobby. I would appreciate help from time to time financially with this hobby, but I'm not going to go after people for money. So I may do something like, if you want to send an extra large t-shirt for me to wear on the show, or a coffee mug for me to use, or a card or letter, or a request, a music request, or anything that you want me to do on the show, send it to this P.O. Box address, care of Yo. And then if you want to donate to the channel, you can, make out a check to me, or money order or whatever. And just try to do it old school, so that if you it's too easy for somebody to say, oh gosh, I better send him some, and then a couple of seconds send a couple of bucks, which is great, but to me it's impersonal, and I would actually prefer, rather than looking and going, oh look, somebody sent me money, I would prefer to open up an envelope and pull out something that somebody took the time to handwrite a check and a memo or a money order or something, and actually, put a stamp on it and filled it out and sent it in the mail to me. Now, that seems old school and more personal. So more than likely, it would be something like that. A lot of people use, here's my PayPal, here's my patron stuff, go here and give me money. You know what, that's neat and all, but it just seems so impersonal. And that way, you send me something, and if you're going to send me something, also send along a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I will send you back something, right? Or at the very least, make sure to have a return address that you get mail, because then I can say, okay, well look, this person, they sent me these things and a little donation, so I'm going to send them back some of these things that I have here, Come on, bud. So, that would be cool, and that to me again would say community, and that would say friendship rather than subscribers and, pay me. Pay me because I'm here. That's just the way I am. That's the way I feel. Because I'm not doing this for money, or this would have been monetized from the beginning, and I would be doing a whole different style of show, and there would be much less content being uploaded, because creating original stuff all the time is very hard, unless it's live stuff. The live stuff's a breeze. Like the night show, it's so much fun to do the night show, mainly because I get to use all of my skills, the computer and the timing and the record keeping and the research, gathering of resources. I mean, it just says yo. it's just too much fun, you know, and it just goes by so quick because it's, you know, I just sit there and I listen to this music and learn who these people are by repetitious writing them down constantly. At some point, I may actually remember who's singing which particular song. I listen to so many and write down so much stuff that while I get used to hearing it, I still don't know who the hell it is from time to time. So therefore, everything has to be written down. I got to keep track of everything. And I love that. At some point, it's going to go into a notebook so that I can leaf through it and see, okay, did I play this week? No, let's play this one. Did I play this week? No, let's play this one. And then I can put together a set list ahead of time and then just go through and, you know, and pick them out. Click, 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 play. You know, grab the songs I want, play 'em. Grab the commercials I want, play 'em. Pop in some news, bada bing, bang, boom, announce, I'm out of there. You know, I literally come on, I talk for a few seconds, I play music and commercials, talk for a few seconds, play music, commercials, talk. It's just that, you know, it's all in the timing, you know. 4 songs, a couple of commercials. And I do that, you know, 4 blocks of songs and 3 commercial blocks. And my show is opening and closing and it's done. And I love it. And I need to come up with something in a similar format that's easy to do so that I can add something else, something with visuals. I think it's going to be Let's Go to the Movies. I think Let's Go to the Movies is going to morph into, rather than me talking about movies, which will probably be a portion of the show. Maybe we'll play a movie, an old hour and a half long movie, an old black and white weird thing that we're allowed to play, you know, or something made for TV that, you know, ABC, you know, Thursday night movie kind of thing, something that we're allowed to play, something I can find on YouTube that's allowable, and then find it myself and upload it and then use it as content, but I'll actually watch it live and do like a commentary show where I announce the movie, we watch the movie, I pop up in the corner and interject stupid commentary throughout the movie, and then we take a commercial break, we have some commercials, I talk about the particular movie that we're watching, and then I talk about another movie, right? And then we get back into and we finish watching the movie and try to set up a live program or a live premiered program in that kind of fashion. And I think that would be a better use of the program Let's Go to the Movies, right? And we could premiere it on Monday nights after nighttime nonsense and nostalgia. We can do a Let's Go to the Movies because it's movie night, or you know, and like that, you know, and then eventually come up with a nighttime television program. What was happening prime time? You know, same thing. If we can do, you know, movies on Monday, let's do some kind of TV stuff, you know, and then I'll just come up with some kind of hour and a half long worth of TV programming that I can use to fill a 2-hour slot, you know. So we've got the first half of the movie, our middle break, and then the second half of the movie. What do you want to do? You want to go outside again? You want to go back outside? Really? All right. Okay, then. Job. Thank you, subscribers. Thank you, friends. I just realized that we, over the weekend or over the last few days, we lost a subscriber. So we went from 150 to 149, and then we went back up to 150, and then up to 151. So thank you, whoever helped me recover. And like I said, I don't like to look at you all as subscribers. I would prefer to look at you as like-minded friends, acquaintances, people that, well, you're weird. I mean, if you're going to hang out, you got to be at least a little weird. If you're going to come, you know, do what I do here. But yeah, I'm really, 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 really excited about the whole prospect of taking my channel and bumping it up a notch, and trying to do an actual daily, weekly programming deal. Yeah, it looks like most of my original content right now is weekly programming. And I have a lot of shared content. And let me see if I do that there. Oh. Oh, I got to do it up on this one here. Aha. So if I hit enter there, and I'll do that equals original content, right? Okay, let's do that, and let's put a space there so we can see it a little bit better. No. Let's do... I don't want that thing to turn to a bullet. Really? Alright, there we go. I guess it has to be like that. The asterisk equals original content. That's it. Hello, love. How y'all doing? I think the house is starting to wake up now. It's only 6:30. My goodness. People must want to do stuff today. That's crazy. Yeah, well, like I said, I'm having too much fun with this channel. It's got to be the weirdest channel out there, the biggest hodgepodge of weird content, right? Which is another thing I need to come up with, is some more weird stuff. Right? Let's just go weird stuff. You know, and I think what I'm doing now is pretty weird. So I've got shows premiering, stuff like reading, writing, and reefer, robotics, early electronics, right? Early technology, a lot of old-time radio shit, a lot of old weird movies and TV shows. You know, just weird stuff. So I can only hope that I can just keep coming up with more weird stuff. I don't know what the life of this channel is going to be. I don't know what the life of YouTube is going to be. I don't see this as a permanent thing or a permanent part of my life. I think this is a permanent part of my life right now, and then at some point it's probably going to evolve into something else. It may split off into two channels, where I keep this channel going, but then I have a paid channel, monetized channel, where I have all of my original content going. You know, and that may be the case at some point if I start to create enough original content. Then I can totally take all of my original content from here and re-upload it onto my other channel, because it's fucking mine, and then share it anew, only monetize it, right? So I could do that. Crazy Old Weird Bearded Guy original, right? And then that will be all of my original work. Sure, you can watch it over here on occasion, but only the early stuff. Once I move over to there, the stuff will stay, but the new content will be added to this original stuff on the new channel, right? So that's down the road, if I so desire. Mainly, I'm going to need a desktop computer, so I have speed with which to create content at a more rapid pace, right? Yeah. So I'm quite happy with this. And now I have to come up with a calendar. Next we'll be coming up with a spreadsheet calendar that I can enter my programming. I need time slots, and I need days and time slots, basically, at 5 days a week. That's it. I don't think I'm going to do any uploads on Saturdays or Sundays. I think I'm going to leave those completely for family days. I think I'm going to rework the whole idea of a Sunday edition for now, and then come up with a new format for the Sunday edition. Just like the Friday Night Live at 5 interview show. If that comes back, it could be on a weekend, or it could just be at 6 o'clock. It's like, okay, we're gonna do this show at 6, so the 5 o'clock show will be pre-recorded and premiered live in its time slot, so that at 6 o'clock I can go live with the interview show, or whatever show's happening at 6 o'clock live, and I can do starting right at 6 without any hoopla and having to end one show and start a new one, right? Because that's a hassle. So I can create this show, you know, the Nighttime Nonsense and Nostalgia show, directly after this one, and then set this up for an evening show, and then be ready to go that evening, or do the live at 5 because the other show's been uploaded and is going to premiere at 5. We can have 2 shows running at the same time. One is premiering live and one is actually live at 5. You know, watch either one. That's something different too. So this whole premiere scheduling thing versus live versus just shooting a video out there right now, it's kind of giving me some more options on creativity and programming. And it wouldn't have hit me had I not created 18 videos and then uploaded them all at once. And then decided, well, let me try this premiere thing. And I'm just going to kind of let things go the way I've scheduled them, and continued scheduling them like they are now for the end of the month. And then at the beginning of the month, because I'm going to need to fill up a whole bunch of time while I'm recovering from a procedure that I'm going to need programming. So I can create a shitload of programming and then have it just set to premiere while I'm gone. I can continue to do my Nighttime Nonsense and Nostalgia show. I'll just use a graphic set list at the end of the show. I can still do it live. And then at the end of the show, I'll put a set list here, you know, on a photograph. And we'll look at it at the end of the show for a minute before we fade into the end credits, right? And for a transcription of the show, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to P.O. Box, yada, 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 care of yada, yada. No, but really, the different ways to enhance my channel, as well as keeping it real, realizing that, the longevity of this channel is going to be tied directly to my own longevity and mortality, but as well to my own pocketbook. So, and I'm not going to make every show about, like a lot of people do, they make every show about going after subscribers or going after money, and I don't want my channel to be like that. I want it to be a channel for the sake of having a channel, and programming for the sake of just sharing the things that I enjoy, right? And other than creating some fantastic programming out of all of that idea, try not to make it any more than that. And then, like I said, if I'm going to go after money, then I'll do it very subtly down in the comments or down in my channel description somewhere. By the way, if you feel so inclined, please, send me some dineros or a t-shirt. I mean, I would prefer a t-shirt. If I could get, get a t-shirt every once in a while from somebody, that would take care of that would help out my t-shirt budget, or a coffee cup with somebody's, a shirt with somebody's stuff on it, their logo, their band, whatever. That'd be fucking awesome. Coffee mug with their face on it. I'm into that. Stickers. If you got stickers for something, I'm going to decorate my box here, my studio box. I'm going to decorate this thing with stickers, I think, at some point. Or something. I want to have something somewhere decorated with a lot of stickers. Something, personal. Right now, this studio that I built here, this little portable mobile live thing here, this is personal because I spend so much time with it. I spend so much time with y'all that this is pretty personal. I gotta go warm up this coffee. Don't nobody go nowhere. Totally, man. Yeah, I'm totally digging on this whole shared content thing. Mainly because I get to say, hey, look, I've enjoyed this stuff, since I was a little kid, I can't share, like, old episodes of, like, let's say Star Trek, all right? I cannot share old episodes of Star Trek. Copyright doesn't allow that. But apparently, for now, I can share with you episodes of stuff like Leonard Nimoy's In Search Of, right? Or we did one of the movies that I've got to premiere coming up is hosted by William Shatner. Right? So, and these are things that I enjoyed watching as a kid. Things that I saw in school, documentaries on PBS. There's another series called World at War, right? And it's a PBS documentary series that uses a lot of real footage from World War II and follows the war from beginning to end, right? The beginnings of World War II on to the end. So I'm going to look into the feasibility of bringing that series to my channel. And it'll probably be on a Tuesday because it's a TV, or maybe a throwback Thursday because it's one of those things that I enjoyed sitting with my old man and watching. He would crank on PBS and there would be those flames coming up and world at war, you know. And it was great. It was crazy good, you know. Or Victory at Sea, the old series from the 1950s, I think, 40s or 50s, about the Pacific Theater during the war. Or, you know, war in the water. But so I'm going to look into what I'll do is I'll find the episodes, and then I'll grab one, spruce it up, and then chuck it onto YouTube and see what happens. And if it works, then it'll become a regular thing, you know, in search of. If this continues to work and I don't have to edit out watching the episode from this episode, and I don't have to delete it from my channel because it's, you know, somebody goes, hey man, my great-grandfather was Leonard Nimoy, and that's not right. It's not right that people, you know, get to find out that he did this show back then, and other people get to find out what it was about and enjoy watching it, you know, because you can't find it on DVD anywhere, you know, come on. So I'm hoping that I can find stuff that people want to watch and that I will be allowed to share with you. You know, that's the important thing. Like I said, the house is waking up a little earlier today because my daughter's leaving at 8. So she should be up and running about here at any time. I said, well, if you're going to be up, you got to be on my show. And she said, no. And I said, well, you're going to be on the show anyway. And she said, no. And I said, hey, if you're going to be talking or moving around, you're on the show, baby. She's like, So, yeah, that's just the way it is, man. You're in this house. You're probably heard, at least. Totally. All right. So, yeah, my whole thing of programming, I think it's going to require some kind of movable calendar. And I think at this point it's going to have to be on a spreadsheet, right? Because save, make sure it's saved, because the OneDrive's off. Okay, so yeah, some kind of spreadsheet calendar with just, you know, Sunday. No, it should be the whole calendar, right? Yeah, because at some point I may add a show here or there on special events, special occasions, on a Sunday or a Saturday, like a Sunday edition. On occasion, if I can figure out how to do that, you know, if I can create enough original content over a couple of weeks, then I can use that original content once a month to bring, you know, let's bring 4 original videos a week to, no, a month, 4 original videos a month to my channel on a Sunday, air them live on a Sunday edition, and then have them have them premiere just the one video at a time, one a week, until the following Sunday edition, and then do another 4 videos, and then have them premiere 1 video a week, so that I spread my original content out, and do that with special videos, and then I can still release other, you know, original content that just kind of pops up that needs to be out, you know, promos and trailers and stuff. We don't have to wait to premiere those. Well, gosh golly. I'm actually starting to get excited about that In Search Of episode because I haven't watched any In Search Of in like decades. And so far, it looks like it's still available on YouTube. I don't know if we're going to watch it from YouTube. I guess it depends if I can dig it up out of my file here. Then we'll just watch it off of my computer. So it's premiering right now. It is premiering right now. No, it's already premiered. Oh, it started 10 seconds ago. No, it's just already premiered. Okay. Gotcha. Well, that's great. That is great. That's just great. I love it. So let me see if it's on. All of the shows is here. So those are the X-1s. Oh, I know, it's down in this file here, right? Because that's where it is. It's on the external hard drive in the uploaded videos, right? Is that where it is? No. It's in Television Tuesdays. And there it is. No. Uploaded TV show. There it is. Right next to Delta House, and that's incredible. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna be real important that I start lining up all of these videos in order in a file. It's just the way it's got to be. If I'm ever going to get this shit done correctly. Because the way I envision my stuff cataloged is cataloged, curated, in order, organized, you know, in my hard drives, and then also, of course, backed up on the cloud, but most importantly, put onto other sources of media like DVD. If I can burn, you know, volumes of Movie Mondays onto DVD, Television Tuesdays on a DVD. And like you put on one and you get all of these episodes during that time period that fit on one, and then the next volume is the next group of videos that can fit on one disc, you know, and just kind of catalog them all like that, line them all up, stack them all up, and have them saved in a couple of different ways, so they're not just on YouTube. For a long time, my live stuff is going to be only available on YouTube until I can get the YouTube studio and more memory space, and then I can start bringing it off YouTube and curating it onto a file somewhere. That's it. That's what it's going to take. And I can't wait. It's just, you know, it's just too much fun. Let me open this thing up here. Open her up, Cookie. Right, open it up and quickly push pause. Pause. Because I want to pause it. There we go. And it's ready to go. So at any given moment, we will put on the headphones and we will switch over to the other computer here, and we will watch In Search Of Martians, episode 9 of the series In Search Of, from May 21st of 1977. It's available now on my playlist if you don't want to listen to me go, oh wow man, check it out. But I'm probably going to be watching this with you in the corner and commenting, and you'll be hearing things happening around my house at the same time. At some point I may drop out and go running and be a family guy, right? But I don't expect them doing too much milling around until, about right before it's time to skedaddle. So I imagine we're probably going to start playing this closer to 7:30-ish. 7:20, 7:30, we'll start probably playing this. And then I should have enough time after that, as everybody's up moving around, to say goodbye at 8 o'clock. And then, what am I going to do? Well, I'm probably going to catalog the videos that are going public today, start my calendar for my programming. I'm going to get over here onto this computer here and create content directly from here onto YouTube, and then once I get enough here, then I will figure out how to, it'll go up to the cloud, and then I can pull it over here and drop it down into the external hard drive if I have enough memory, because I need twice the memory of the file in order to save it, right? It's just the way it works. So provided I have enough memory over here, I should be able to open up files from here and then save them down, move them off of here, like that. Yeah, like that. There you go. Well, I'm just looking at my live stream numbers, you know. My kilobytes per second is pretty steady up in the 7,000s. And it's never like that. It usually almost drops down into the 6,000s. And right now, it just keeps bouncing around 7,100. 71, 71, 7110, 7232, 7173. I mean, this is unusual. It's good unusual. It's really good. I don't know. It's probably just a perfect time of the day. The calm before the storm. I just dropped down to 69 something. Yeah, because I imagine now it being closer to 7 o'clock. Well, yeah, I imagine the numbers are going to drop down because more people are going to be on their phones, eating up the internet access from the server. Yes, sir, indeedy. But yeah, the numbers are looking really good. I'm really happy with the way I've got the programming working and all of the hardware and everything. I really dread updates, because they throw a fucking wrench into all of this shit, and I gotta run around and scramble around and do live tests and figure out what the fuck happened. So, you know, hopefully we won't get too much of that. I imagine that it's gonna come a few times a month. We're gonna get updates, and we're just gonna have to go, ah! But I'm starting to keep track of what happens and the fix. And if I can keep doing that in my margins on my calendar. And that's another thing, is here I can pencil in. I've got these big days on the calendar, and they're really big. And I can also use those in pencil to do my programming. I think probably what's going to happen is I'm going to do a daily programming printout sheet that I can pencil in stuff and change stuff around, and then once I get it all laid out for a couple of weeks, and I'll take them in and tack them up on my board and look at them and hem and haw and move stuff around, and once I get my list of videos transcribed onto the programming schedule, then I'll take those programming schedule sheets and enter them into my database, and as well upload the videos and put the correct premiere dates on them so they line up with the programming schedule. Gosh, that sounds like so much fun. That's just you know, and I'm having all this fun by myself. That's the kicker, is that nobody else sees the fun in doing. I mean, I'm just doing Let's Pretend, right? I mean, I'm just spending my days living out a fantasy of being a network executive. That's it. You know, on top of that, I'm producer, director, writer, actor, the works. I mean, I'm like the whole network rolled into one guy. I feel like Orson Welles, right? I'm Orson frickin' Welles. I shall drink no wine before it's time. No, really. I'm Orson friggin' Welles. You know, Michael Theater on the air. You guys wouldn't know fun if it jumped up and slapped you in the puss. Hi, Toots. Hi. Hi. Oh, you okay. You can come up. You want to go outside? You want to go outside? Okay. I think Tootsie wants to go outside. I'm a doorman. Yeah, the doggy doorman. I'm a doggy doorman. That's what I do. I open and close the doors for the doggies. The doggies, baby. Who let the doggies out? Yo, 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 yo. No, really. Yeah, I mean, if I could get more input from people watching the channel about what to put on the channel, now that would be cool. I mean, I get positive input on a lot of the things that I put on the channel, especially like the Grateful Dead videos, the Harry Styles stuff, some of the old-time radio stuff really gets a lot of attention and a lot of comments, which is why I'm presenting more of that, more Grateful Dead music, more old-time radio. The more response I get on these things, the more of that kind of content I'm going to bring. And now that I'm starting to bring more and more content, I think the whole programming scheduling thing is really going to benefit my channel as well as the people watching. You know, and if it wasn't for this morning show, I wouldn't have the opportunity to sit and spitball these things and throw shit up on the wall and see what sticks. And you know, he just threw shit up on the wall. Leave him alone, Harry. He's experimental. He's mental, all right. Harry, I'm warning you. All right, put that frying pan down. Oh. Stupid bastard. Arg. What is it? It's Tuesday. You think there'd be more people watching? Oh, well, Tuesday. Everybody's probably working. You poor dumb bastards. Jeez. Out there working, slaving. You know, if you ain't doing something that you love, then you're slaving. You know, and there's got to be a better way. You know, there's just totally got to be a better way. You know, we're all too chicken shit to get out of our fucking comfort zone, you know, and to tell the fucking corporate entities to go screw themselves, you know. What do? We just keep buying their crap. We just keep swallowing their pills. We keep voting for the same fucking idiots, you know. Holy hell. Yeah, it makes you fucking cuckoo in the cabeza trying to figure out their motives, you know. But when all in all, it just comes down to fucking the bottom line, you know, how much money they're socking away, how much money they're making off the American people, how much bigger their fucking salary is than the average fucking person, and all they do is sit around, fucking, you know, fucking nod off in Congress and don't agree. And that's their fucking jobs, and they get fucking, you know, paid up the ass, half the year off, paid vacations, health insurance, and we just let it happen. Other countries are picking these guys up out of these fucking Congress and chucking them in dumpsters and covering them with fucking cream pies, you know. These guys get pied in the face and escorted out and fired. It's like, you're done, dude. No, you know. And they do it nonviolent. They just say, no, we're the people, and we decided that you ain't one of us anymore. You know. And that's what we need. We need more of us. And as soon as they put on that hat, as soon as they take on the moniker of civil servant in that capacity, in that upper echelon, right, then they become one of them. No matter how much they want to scream up and down, I'm here for you guys. They're just grifting, man. They're just going after fucking votes. They're just going after that fucking, that money, you know. And it's, you know, look at their fucking jobs. Look what they do. It's practically free money, you know. Here's what they should get paid, and yet they get paid this, right? Because we allow it to happen. Yet they're still only worth this because this is all they do, and all this extra is free money, you know. All those benefits that they get that we don't get, that we pay for, but they get, we don't get. Yeah. That's extra. That's free money. And the bummer is that it's being taken out of our fucking pockets from our taxes, you know. Right back to that whole fucking class action lawsuit against all of these fucking bastards that, you know, that are sticking it to us. Show me the attorneys at law, the huge fucking powerful fucking attorneys at law who will back me on this. You know? Pfft, nobody. Because they're beholden to the fucking government and all these fucking entities as well. You know? You'd have to get some fucking backroom fucking lawyer who ain't worth a piss because nobody, you know, nobody wants to hire somebody who's a nobody. Right? He ain't nobody. Don't hire him. Yeah, but he's got going on. Yeah, fuck it. He's a nobody. He ain't never going to be anybody until you give him a chance. So what? He's got different ideas. Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't fucking get it, you know? And the pharmaceutical companies who are just fucking sticking it to us, you know? They keep making us pay for this shit that don't fucking do anything except create more fucking problems. You know? And we just let it fucking happen. It's like food, you know? Food is so fucking horrible right now. I can't even stand to look at it most of the time. Because most of the time, it's just over-processed garbage. I mean, you have to spend hours in the kitchen creating something out of nothing, out of scratch, in order to have something healthy and worth eating. You know, and I just cannot look at... You know what the future of food is going to be? It's going to be a mixture of food delivery and in 100 years, people are going to be sitting at home and they will have big, giant vats of protein paste stuff in these big, giant vats. And they will have these different vitamin mixture containers that are added along with it. And all these tubes run from all these canisters of things. And at some point, All you do is you punch up what you want to eat, and these big giant vats squeeze all of these different combinations of stuff down into a small 3D printer in your kitchen and print out exactly the food that you want to eat, and then heat it or cool it depending on the kind of food that it is. Right there, within a few minutes, your food is created out of nothing, right? Just a big vat of proteins and vitamins and just yucky crap. I mean, we're already eating the pink slurry stuff that they create to do chicken patties and chicken nuggets and stuff, which is just a big vat of mushed chicken parts with a bunch of other crap added. And then it's coagulated, hardened, and cooked and layered to have, you know, texture and meat-like qualities. It's horrible stuff, and that's the way we're going. Pretty soon, we're not going to need Uber Eats and all that stuff, because everything is going to be available right from your own home. All you got to do is punch it up on a menu, and a little box in your kitchen, just like a microwave, will produce it for you. Kind of like the food replicators on Star Trek, but it's going to be more disgusting, right? Because it's all the food that you eat is going to be made from the same crap. And that crap, we won't be told where that crap comes from or what that crap is. It's just going to be some mushy jelly toothpaste tube stuff coming out into tubes, and then it's going to be injected into this mold thing and turned into a cheeseburger, a pot roast, a taco, you know, and it'll be all of these elements created and then folded together by some kind of robotic device, and right there. And we won't have to order out, because out will be in. It'll be right there all the time. We won't be cooking for ourselves anymore in 100 years. We'll just have these things producing this garbage, because there won't be food available for us. We won't have supermarkets where we can go pick and choose and decide, I don't want this head of lettuce, I want that head of lettuce, because there won't be any fucking heads of lettuce for us to eat, because there won't be anything growing out there. We're going to be scraping algae off the disgusting ocean, and we're going to be turning that into that protein squeezed shit that goes into these fucking 3D printer food machines. That's what we're going to be fucking eating in 100 years. That's disgusting, but that's the way it's going. And we're letting it happen. Why? Because we're cattle like fucking pussies, and we got no voice of our own. And the voice that we do have can be quelled, it can be wiped out, it can be erased, because it's digital now. Everything that we have. You better shut that guy up, he's talking weird. You know, and then I'm just gone. Why? Because they don't like what I'm saying. Why don't they like what I'm saying? Because it's too real, it's too close to the facts. You know? It doesn't take a genius to figure out where we're headed, you know, but a closed-minded sheep ain't ever gonna fucking figure it out. That's the fact, Jack. So, yeah, these are the things that go through my head in the middle of the night while I'm sleeping there. And this is what I was thinking about last night. Food in the future. That's going to be a scary fucking thing. It's already scary because it's so overprocessed and disgusting and GMO. And once there's no longer sufficient environment to create and to grow this food and to raise these animals to eat, it's going to be wherever we can get the protein, right? And more than likely, it's going to be the scum that we scrape off the ocean and the dead flesh that we come upon. And that dead flesh is more than likely going to be human, right? Soylent Green, that's not fantasy. That's a deep, hard look at the realities of food scarcity in the future. You know, there will be a time in humanity where we're eating our own. We won't be grabbing arms and legs and shit. Some people might. But for the most part, it's going to be bodies are turned into protein through a chemical process, just like they make oil out of corn. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to make protein out of human bodies, and they're going to extract the necessary building blocks from whatever dead humans happen by, and they're going to use that and create that paste, and that paste is going to be what we use to create the food of the future. I'm just telling you the facts. That's just the way it is. I've been there. I see it. It's not a pretty picture. You're not going to enjoy being there. So hopefully you won't be around in 100 years. The only bummer is that between now and 100 years from now, it's going to be fucking hell. It is. It's just going to be crazy fucking difficult for the average person scraping to get by from week to week. And that is like the average person out there right now, worrying about getting the next month's bills paid. You know, well, everybody should have everything taken care of for like a couple of years out. Well, yeah, that's the way it used to be when the economy wasn't all fucking as wonky as it is now. Now you'd be lucky to get by from week to week, not just month to month, but week to week. You know, and you know what happens when there's no food? There's not going to be any work. There's not going to be any jobs. It's going to be, you know, not just homelessness. It's going to be famine, you know. And those people with the 3D printing food machines, we will have put those people in those positions to have those things, right? Because we're too afraid to say that everybody should have the right to all of these things. Good medical care, the ability to free yourself of disease, right? But they hide these things from us so that we just, you know, we just go along with whatever they say and take their pills and their panacea and, you know, and suffer. Because that's our lot in life. It ain't a lot, but that's our life. And doesn't that just beat all? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I understand why. And I understand everything but how people could just, you know, just turn their eyes, just be pussies, you know, just be sheep or cattle and just go along and do whatever they're fucking told to do, because that's the way my daddy did it. So I'm a Republican and I'm a Democrat and I was this or that because that's the way my daddy was, you know. And then, you know, we get tired of these old bastards in there in charge of shit. Well, we put them there because your daddy was and your mother was, you know. We're all human, and that should be the only factor. Hey, look, we're all human. We all deserve a fair shake. We all deserve to be healed. We all deserve to be cared for. You know, we all deserve food, water, clean air. You know, all of these things, yet they are becoming more and more scarce. All of these natural resources are now gobbled up by these corporate entities and then sold back to us at exorbitant prices on sale. You know, it's and we allow it to happen. We allow these conglomerates to happen. We allow these lobbyists to go in and push for all of this shit to happen. You know, we allow these people in the government to stick it to us on a regular basis, and then they go out and stick it to somebody else and then want us to go fight for them because they can't control their fucking greediness, right? That's all it is. That's how it, you know, and if you shake it down to its bare fucking contents, you don't get any cleaner than that, you know. And yet people don't want to fucking see that. They want to live in their fucking fantasy, and they don't want to think about reality for reality's sake. They want to think about their fantasy reality, you know. You know, they want to live in the bachelorette lifestyle, you know. It's like let's live like we're in a TV show. Let's only show the perfect side of my life, you know. And that's the way people want to live. They don't want to see the bad side. They don't want to see the realities of what our decisions do. They just want to see the right now, you know. Am I pleased for right now? Yeah. Well, then that's all that matters. You know, self-gratification, instant pleasure, you know, worrying about right now and fuck the future, you know. And if somebody tries to come along and ask them to be semi-fucking human, they blow up and they turn into a fucking loser tweaker, you know, and just go fucking berserk. Yeah. It's just sad. It's just sad, man. It's totally sad. So at some point here, I'm going to go ahead and, in the next minute or two, go ahead and crank up this show here. It's about 22 minutes long, and then we'll have about, when this is over, we'll have about 20 minutes at the end of the show to talk about it. So I'm going to put it on and watch it here with you, and be here, and on occasion have a comment to say. But everybody's probably not here right now because they're probably watching stuff that is premiering, right? Or they watched this already. So I'm going to work out the programming so that my live shows are not interrupted or interfered with by premieres. So I'll arrange those things. All right, I'm gonna warm up my coffee a little bit. Oh, look, there's nothing to warm up. Well, I guess we're just gonna get right to it then. All right. So this is In Search of Martians with Leonard Nimoy, episode 9 from May 21, 1977. And it is one of my favorite shows from the 70s. I was a moderate Star Trek fan, but I was a huge Leonard Nimoy fan. So I just really dig all of his stuff. All right, people, here we go. I'm going to bounce on over here, and we're going to check this out.
Earth, the third planet from the sun. For uncounted thousands of years, men looked to the sky and wondered if they were alone. Finally, there were machines that could travel into space. Men walked on the moon, but found no sign there of other intelligence. But there are 8 other planets moving around the same sun that kindled life on Earth. Could it have happened only on our planet? A spark that could evolve into intelligence? The winter of 1976 would see another great step in search of life on other worlds. The planet nearest Earth glows redly in the night sky. What common heritage might these two worlds have?
This series presents information based in part on theory and conjecture. The producer's purpose is to suggest some possible explanations, but not necessarily the only ones, to the mysteries we will examine.
They had to appease the religious people. That's why they put that in.
The first sunrise for mankind occurred more than 3 million years ago. Long, long before there were men, the sun was an insignificant cluster of dust and gas. It wasn't long in the scheme of things before the gas and dust began to boil. Mass becoming energy, energy becoming mass. Other forces were at work as pressures built, and the infant sun was at war with itself. nuclear fusion, the same force at work in the hydrogen bomb, created the sun and has fueled it through the millennium. In the convulsion of birth, great mass and enormous energy must have been thrown off into space. The planets were the cinders left by this cosmic holocaust. The same process was at work throughout the universe. Uncounted stars, uncounted planets, uncounted possibilities for life. Probes have been sent into space, and new mathematics invented to help understand the dynamics of the universe. Most of what is known about space has been learned only in the latter half of the century.
I always dig his wardrobe.
It would be arrogant to suppose, therefore, that we've done more than begin to ask the right questions. Of course, there's never been a shortage of answers. Before men had space probes and computers, they had imaginations. Georges Méliès was a pioneering filmmaker. In the first quarter of the century that would see men actually walk on the moon, he created a vision of what that event might be like.
In the 70s, I got to see this on 16 millimeter at home. My father brought home a copy from the University of San Diego. UCSD.
Essential to Méliès's comic view of a landing on the moon was an encounter with aliens. Such encounters have been dreamed of with mingled fear and hope for a long time.
This is my favorite part here, where they fall back to Earth.
Ironically, Méliès's view of the return to Earth was not unlike a modern Apollo splashdown and recovery. Percival Lowell was one of many who contemplated the possibilities of life on other worlds. He was not a filmmaker, but a man of science. Lowell's passion was something he saw on the face of Mars. Lowell came to Flagstaff, Arizona in 1894 to build an observatory. He hoped that the clear desert air would afford him a better look at Mars than any astronomer before him had been able to achieve. The 24-inch refracting telescope Lowell installed on the site was the most advanced of the day. When all was ready, Lowell trained his eye on Mars. The conclusions he reached about what he saw made him one of the most controversial scientists of the age.
The canals of Mars, right?
Arizona newspaperman George Hoyt has written a definitive biography of Percival Lowell. His research focused on Lowell's fascination with Mars and with the remarkable conclusions he made after long study.
Percival Lowell thought that there was intelligent life of some form on Mars. He deduced this logically from the existence of what he thought were canals on Mars, lines that he could see in a telescope that were highly geometrical, and he couldn't explain them in any other way except to assume that some intelligent beings had constructed these lines.
Lowell's observatory is still in use today. Its creator died in 1916, having fired the imaginations of many and tasted the ridicule of others. Later research indicates that Lowell's canals were illusions, but the remarkable events of 1976 have proven the astronomer right on many of his other observations.
He thought that Mars was in what he called the terrestrial stage of planetary evolution, and that was the stage after the one that the Earth was in, which was the terraqueous stage. In short, the Earth had oceans.
Mars, he thought, had already lost its oceans, but it did have oceans at one time. Mars was drying up. Mars was desiccating, and he coined the word desertism for what was happening to Mars, and he thought that it was also just beginning to appear on Earth.
Lowell's observation about Earth's changing climate was profound. The forces at work in the solar system have a rhythm and a reason beyond the grasp of most men. Changes that are imperceptible from man's tiny window on the universe can have profound consequences. Lowell believed that some small shift in the orbit of Mars or some fluctuation in the sun's rays had gradually deprived Mars of life-giving water. He saw indications that the same processes were at work on Earth.
Or the Martians did it to themselves.
Could it be that some Martian scientist was able to warn his people in time?
Yeah, and they all came here.
At the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California, scientists like Harold Klein are studying the similarities between Earth and Mars that Percival Lowell was the first to recognize.
JPL.
Well, it's very difficult to talk about the evolution of a planet like Mars without too much information. The general theory at present is that both Mars and the Earth were formed at the same time, about 5 billion years ago. One would then postulate that at the beginning, when the solar system was created, Mars had a much denser atmosphere than it has now, and that in many ways it was much more similar to the Earth, and perhaps, therefore, was conducive to the origin of life on that planet, as we believe was the case on this planet.
Water would have been essential if life on Mars was to develop as we know it. Gerald Soffen is a Mars geologist.
The important thing to understand is that both planets were at one time hydrological planets. They were planets that had flooded amounts of water, and that
He
water,
sleeps on his
simple
left
molecule, dominated for a great period of time the course of the history of the planet. Now, the's no
The wind was blowing from
water
the
on
east
Mars
that
today.
day.
There's no flooding water. There's certainly atmospheric water, and we now know the poles of Mars are water. So somewhere along the way, Mars went one way, and the Earth went the other way.
Well, that explains it.
What effect might the radical change in the Martian environment have had on life there?
We're asking the question, if there is life on Mars, was it a separate event from the evolution of life on Earth? It's entirely possible that what we find on Mars, possible, not likely, is so close to our own that we've discovered, in a sense, the same event, the terrestrial life and the Earth life, because we're related to the same event that took place some time ago.
Some time ago, indeed.
Indeed.
And the question remains, could the birth of the sun some 5 billion years ago have given life to two worlds instead of one?
I find it amazing how humans have to try to grasp shit that they're just never going to grasp, right? But we gotta put a label on everything. We gotta have a name for it.
Mission Control, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in the foothills above Pasadena, California. It is from here that an ambitious undertaking in space will be directed. The target is Mars, 212 million miles from Earth. Men have walked on the moon, but this journey to Mars will take 11 months.
How many probes have we sent to Mars that have totally fucked
but not for his machines.
Copy, thank you. Ascertain orders in for 2-1.
I don't think the probes that are on Mars are actually on Mars. I think they're running around Utah and Wyoming desert.
A Titan Centaur lifts off from Cape Kennedy. It is August 20th, 1975. In the nose cone is a machine of ingenious artifice. It is called Viking. Men have learned to extend their intelligence beyond the confines of their fragile bodies, into icy space and onto unknown worlds. The machine will go where men cannot, for the present, go. It will obey the commands of the scientists in Pasadena, sitting at their computers 35 miles from the surfing beach at Malibu.
Roger, 2-1, 1350. We have 3 and 4 out of luck.
The voyage itself is largely uneventful. Soon, however, the command center at Pasadena will be alive with activity.
Yeah, Art, looking at the, I got the sheet here with me for the ranging for today. Okay. First range, 8.27089.
Okay, how are the correlation voltages?
10 months from liftoff, Viking 1 enters the orbit of Mars. An instrument package descends to the surface and awaits instructions from Earth.
That's a cartoon. That's not real.
Now, we chose Mars primarily because Mars is, I guess you would call Mars our true sister planet to Earth. The biology that we know in the universe is focused mostly on the Earth. That's the only life that we know. Our life, we terrestrial beings, we the trees, and we the people. And our candidate for a search began with Mars.
8.27089.
The first Viking lander is joined by a second 6 weeks later. With infrared sensors and special television cameras, men get their first close look at Mars.
The crappiest pictures since the moon landing. The most important things to happen to humans.
Soil
and the
samples
pictures
yield
suck.
particularly fascinating results.
The data from both landers
Makes you wonder.
can be interpreted as being due to living organisms, can also be interpreted from what we now know as being due to some kind of very active surface chemistry going on the planet.
In Pasadena, a mock-up of the Viking lander is used to rehearse every move the real lander would be required to make. The dexterity of the lander is amazing. Sighting through television eyes, programmers on Earth trigger Viking to scoop up samples of soil or rock. Samples are dropped into a sifting mechanism that sorts particles for specific tests. Dr. Leslie Orgel points out that the tests are inconclusive.
The experiments that we've done with the Viking on Mars this time doesn't give any evidence at all for any compounds left over from life in the past on Mars. But that doesn't, of course, mean at all that there wasn't any life on Mars. There may have been compounds there, and they may have been destroyed.
This guy's got Marty Feldman
Well,
eyes.
if you want to postulate a technological civilization on Mars, which has died out, you would then also have to have some mechanism to cover over any sort of buildings or any sort of vast project.
Covered it up.
It is conceivable that you might have had such a civilization which then got covered up by some cataclysmic event such as a massive Mars quake, which completely covered over everything, and that all the artifacts of your ancient civilization are unburied in some way. None of this is visible, you see, from our pictures now that we're taking from the Viking spacecraft, which could see objects as small as about 15 yards or so, or bigger in size.
The Viking scientists believe that the Martian sky must have once resembled our own. Whether some natural catastrophe obliterated an ancient Mars civilization, we don't know.
We don't know.
It seems, however, that Earth is not immune to the same forces that made Mars a desert. There are three schools of thought. Some believe a slight tilt in the Earth's axis is bringing on a new ice age. Others feel the Earth's climate is drying and the deserts are slowly encroaching on population centers. Another view is that men have so altered the natural environment, no one can predict the future.
We're fucked. That's the
Tons
future.
of pollution pour into the air from the great cities of Earth. The problem has been only recently recognized.
Those two
and the
towers
effects of
there no
man's
longer
tampering
exist.
can only be guessed at. Men have done worse things than pour smoke into the sky.
Oh, yeah. The ultimate stupidity of man. Man. There you go. What's the ultimate thing we can create to destroy? Oh, yeah. Well, let's do it a whole bunch of times.
that all of Earth may one day resemble the Southwest American desert.
Thousands of detonations
Mars
so
looked
far.
much like this to the electronic eyes of Viking. The machines scanned the horizon and recorded no sign of intelligent life. It is
There's none here
unlikely that
either.
life evolving elsewhere in the universe would follow the same path as life on Earth. If that were to happen, however, Mars would seem to be the likely host. The two worlds have much in common, even now. Perhaps Viking didn't see all there was to see. Beyond that, could men recognize the works of a civilization radically different from his own?
No. Too wrapped up in themselves. Nice bridge. It probably collapsed.
If there were Martians, and they knew what was happening to their planet, perhaps they chose to abandon it. On Earth, men have developed the technology to create orbiting habitats. Theoretically, these artificial worlds could be built on an immense scale in weightless space.
And then what?
They could provide a safe refuge for long voyages in space. Voyages to new worlds.
To what end?
It is not inconceivable that Earth once held the same promise and fascination for Martians that the red planet now holds for mankind.
Well, let's pick up and go to another world and destroy it.
Viking may be a step in the return voyage.
L-O-R-T, Lord. Nice pictures. Fantasy.
This is the beginning.
We'll never make
this
it
is really
that
truly
far.
the beginning. Regardless of what happens next year or even a decade from now, we have started what will become an adventure of mankind in searching for not only the lowly forms of life, but eventually, I think, to search for intelligent life. This is one of the milestones in the course of human destiny.
We keep looking for
to
intelligent
find
life
presence.
out there because there ain't none here.
It is the inevitable path of man's destiny that he will explore the heavens. We're only now talking about the timetable. We'll adapt the environment to ourselves. We will change the atmosphere. We'll do what is called planetary engineering. It doesn't exist yet, but it will someday. For example, with all that water at the pole of Mars, there's no point in leaving it frozen there. We might as well melt it and form an ocean. And that's not so fantastic. It's possible to dream about things like that.
Give me a break.
It is also possible to dream that should we reshape the Martian landscape, we would be settling an old account.
We'd be dreaming.
Perhaps they did as much for us once. If we, on the other hand, are unique in the universe, the time is approaching when we can spread our kind to the stars.
Oh, leave it here. We don't need to shoot seed into the stars. We need to stop shooting seed down here. Dagnabbit.
Albert Einstein believed the universe was shaped like a saddle. By traveling in a straight line, one could eventually wind up where he started.
Huh?
With the universe, as with life, endings seem to merge with beginnings. Was the end of some undiscovered civilization on Mars the beginning of our civilization on Earth?
Maybe.
Will our first steps on some dusky Martian plain be a homecoming?
Nice jacket.
Only when we've been there can we prove or dismiss the notion that some calamity of nature or poverty of spirit might have overtaken a parent civilization on the fourth planet from the sun.
His ears are round.
It would be well for us to find out. For it has been observed that those who cannot learn from the past are condemned to relive it.
Hey, cancel culture. Hello, wake up, cancel culture. That's it. I'm going to see if I can find In Search of Noah's Ark. Yeah. In Search of the Bermuda Triangle. That'll be a good one. Or the Lipstone. It must have been a frozen rock. They call him Lipstone now. All right, that's me. Hello, people. I'm back. So did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy our little television trip down into the history? Huh? It was some awesome shit, man. I haven't seen an episode of In Search of in probably, God, at least 20 years, right? I don't know where you can find it right now on any streaming channels or YouTube or anywhere. I mean, yeah, I guess you can search. It's probably out there somewhere. So if you guys find it, send me some links, like sausage links. Sausage, the giggles. The house is alive. It's alive, baby. And so am I. I'm out of coffee, though. So I'm going to have to... Tootsie, Tootsie Footsy. Come here, Tootsie Footsy. You want to come here, Tootsie Footsy? Come here, Tootsie Footsy. Come here, Tootsie Footsy. Tootsie Footsy. Ah, there's Tootsie Footsy. This is Tootsie. This is my Tootsie Footsy. Oh, she's my Tootsie Footsy. She's such a good Tootsie Footsy. Oh, she's a good Tootsie. She's a good girl. She likes to be on camera. She does. She's a Chiweenie. She's a Chiweenie. Oh, and she's the sweetest Chiweenie in the world. She's watching Mom. Uh-oh, she's trying to back up into the spot there. There you go. Are you better? Is that better? Is that good? Huh? Ah, what a good kid. What a good kid. It's kind of dark. I can't see her. I can't see it too good. Oh, well, I guess the bigger the screen, the easier it is to see you. Look at, you're so cute, Tootsie Footsie. In Search of Tootsie. Tootsie Footsie. What's Natalie doing? She's getting ready to go. Does that make you nervous? Does that make you nervous? It's the trash man. I hear the trash man. I hear the trash man. Tuesday, it's the trash man. Tuesday. All right, I'll scoot over. Man, this dog. She's little, but she takes up a whole bunch of room. She's the cutest little girl. Yep, she's worried because Natalie's leaving. Natalie's taking off for the day, and little Tootsie Footsie gonna be worried. She's gonna be lonely. Lonely. Order up. Well, so In Search of with Leonard Nimoy. I remember watching that series religiously with gusto. It was like, oh, when is it going to come on? And then it went into syndication, right? And then you could only find it at odd hours because it was one of those weird shows, you know. And it wasn't respected by the mainstream thinkers because the mainstream thinkers, they couldn't think outside the friggin' box, right? So I imagine that a lot of religious organizations really held this show up to scrutiny and didn't have any respect for the different way of thinking, you know. You can't say there's no God. They never say that. They just say, hey, what if? You know, just like the ancient alien shows now. You know, ancient alien theorists surmise that this could possibly have happened. They never say that it does. You know, that's for you to figure out. You either accept it or you don't accept it. You know, and back then they didn't like outside the box thinking, which is probably what led to the downfall of Star Trek itself. You know, is that it was just a little out there. And they used the show to deal with stuff that was happening in today's reality, right? There goes the trash man. And there you go. Trying to get around that tree. They don't have to come through here, but they're idiots. One of these days they're going to just take a big branch off of that tree again. I trimmed it up pretty good, but, you know, it's a big truck. What are you going to do here? Gosh. So let's see, we've got some other things going on today. So The Story of TV is a movie that is kind of explains television in its infancy back in the 40s, I believe, 40s or 50s. So be sure to check out that. This Scrape and Toast, that episode of In Search of will be will be available in a playlist right now, as well as The Story of TV and X-1 episode 18, which premiered this morning. So be sure to check those out. It either premiered or will premiere this morning. So be sure to check those out. Like I said, the kitchen is open. Which is funny because I'm still hungry. If the kitchen is open, how come I'm not unhungry now? So thankfully it's almost 8 o'clock, and I can leave you all to check out what's happening in the playlists, and I can check out what's happening in the kitchen, and most especially get working on some more details and content programming and that kind of stuff, because that's just my fun right there. And I've got a lot of ideas. So once again, if somebody out there is like a group of really powerful attorneys and they want to do a class action lawsuit against Pharmacom, Pharmamerica, pharmaceutical companies, and the government and the medical industry and the corporate entities and all of the lobbyists who help these bastards out, who have taken the cures to all of these things that ail us and turned them into not going to cure your remedies so that they can profit off of our dying, okay, by keeping us alive just long enough to die horribly in pain, right? Rather than curing us, because they have the cures. They have the cures for a lot of these things. They just won't give it out because they need to run out the patents, or they need to power some kind of population control, or for whatever issue there is going on that keep these bastards from hiding all of these cures and all these remedies and all of these realities from us, you know, and keeping us wrapped up in bullshit, wrapped up in selfies and entertainment and, you know, voting for this asshole or that asshole, you know. And remember that those assholes always get the best of the best of the best, and we allow it to happen. You know, we just, you know, a whole world full of pussies who just let this shit happen. And I'm not saying we need to do anything violent. I think we just need to do something. We need to stand up and, you know, tell these sons of bitches where to go. You know, and we want control over our lives and life and death, and not them. You know, it's just the human thing to do, right? So if you're gonna vote for me. Everything else is bullshit. It is. So let's see, what have we got going on tomorrow? Tomorrow is Old Time Radio Wednesday, so I'm going to load up three more episodes of Old Time Radio shows and get them on to premiere tomorrow, and then we'll listen to one. But they will be available throughout the day as they premiere for you guys to check out. I think that's the way I'm going to do that. I'm going to pick a time schedule on when I'm going to release stuff. This show gets done at 8, and I think I'm going to premiere the first video at 8, and then again at 12, 4 hours, and then again at 4 o'clock, 4 hours, and then again at 8 o'clock. Right? I think we can do that. Or 4, 8 and noon and 4. Right? I really don't want anything premiering before the show, because sometimes I might premiere something that's longer than that time slot, and it's going to interfere with the start of my show, right? So I'm going to try not to do that. I'm going to try to premiere stuff so that it doesn't interfere with the morning or the evening, and do it at that. But I think I can fill up the whole day with programming by using the premiere schedule, and bring you a lot of shared content, and then on occasion bring you some original content, because the morning show and the nighttime show, this is my original content here, but the nighttime show is an original show of shared content. But on occasion I will be bringing you photos from my wife's phone, the family photo album, the docu-series, episodes from this, that, and the other. And I think I'm going to turn going to the movies is going to be, let's go to the movies. I think it's going to turn into a weekly show where we watch a movie and discuss movies. I think that'll be more fun. So I'll look into putting that pilot together and see how that turns out. But I think it'll be more fun as a live show. And then put the movie into the playlist after the show has aired live. You know? You know what I'm talking about. You know where I'm coming from. And then later this week, let's see, on Thursday so far we have another episode of X-1. I haven't decided what radio shows are going to be uploaded on what day of the week, because I'd like to do 2 shows a day, an X-1 and then a show for that day of the week. And then discovering electronic music, which is kind of cool, using weird synthesizers and stuff back in the 60s and 70s, and that's neat. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Living Stereo. That's next week. This week, tomorrow, is X-1 and Living Stereo, where we're talking about how needles work on LPs and stuff, which is neat, because it's one of those questions that my daughter asked, and I was like, I'm going to have to look it up, because I know, the concept, but I'm not, the theory, but I'm not too sure on the particulars. And then Friday, X-1 and robotics. It's a movie about robotics. And then every night this week at 5 o'clock, we're doing Nighttime Nonsense and Nostalgia, which is a really, it's turning into a really fun show. I like the research end of it and the programming it, because I program it, right now I'm programming it live, which means that I pick the songs live and then I record it on my notebook here. And then I pick out the commercials and play them. So everything is done pretty live. Unlike my father's show back in the 70s, where he actually picked out all of his music ahead of time and make sure that the time of the music fit in between the commercial breaks, right? And I kind of do that. I kind of do it loosely. I don't stick right to the second. I try to be within a minute of every quarter hour. So 3 commercial breaks during my hour. I'll sometimes do the pre-show and play a few commercials and stuff there. And then if I'm bored, then I'll play a couple of commercials after the show before I kill the live stream. But that show, it's a live show. It's unplanned. It all happens on the fly at this point. Like I said, I will be creating episodes that will premiere on the nights that I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to worry about filling up the morning show time slot with a morning show copy. If I'm not going to be here, I'll just drop something in that 5 o'clock time slot to premiere so that there's something going on. More than likely it'll be a movie, some kind of movie that I'm allowed to play. But that'll be a lot of fun. And then next week I've already got a lot of stuff programmed for next week. A film on filmmaking on Monday. Experiments in motion graphics, computer graphics on Tuesday. All week we'll have X-1, and then Thursday we're going to do Discovering Electronic Music, and then Friday I've got a whole lot of stuff that is set up to premiere on Friday. And then I'm going to try over the weekend to put together, or at some point put together, a show for the Friday nighttime nonsense and nostalgia slot, so that I can still be here even when I'm gone, doing the same thing. Won't that be cool? So I'm going to try that out and see how that works. Let's see. I think that's all we've got going on right now. Like I said, next week I'll be going out to Hollywood, hopefully to shoot a little bit of video and photographs, and take the kids out to a concert. And I am going to spend the next couple of weeks finishing off the programming for this month and honing down the programming schedule for next month, because that is going to be the bread and butter of this channel while I'm on hiatus. And I could be on hiatus for a couple of weeks to a couple of months. So most of my summer schedule will just be shared content, weekly programming, and original videos that I don't have to be in or speak in, right, during my hiatus. So there's that. Tootsie Footsie, are you crazy, Tootsie? Tootsie, are you a crazy Tootsie Footsie? You're such a Tootsie Footsie. Okay, so that means that today's show is pretty much wrapped up, and I will be back at you this evening at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Be sure to tune in to my channel on a regular basis. If you want to be notified about any of this stuff, you know what to do. You know all of the bells and whistles of YouTube now. I don't have to ask you to do the things that everybody else is clamoring to. Please do this and this. You know what to do. You know. So let's go ahead and boot up the. Let's boot up the end of the show here. So most especially, you guys know that you need to be kind to each other, spread peace and love, and most especially, stay weird. Stay weird on the weird side, on the good side of weird, and dang it, just be kind, you know, because that's the thing to do to humans, your surrounding people, animals, planet. You know what to do. Love you. Take care. Bye-bye.